272, up from 277, just 270 needed to win the election. Now, there's been no concession yet, but Vice President Kamala Harris is set to address the nation later today.
A theme of the historically brief Harris campaign is that she said President Trump did not respect the results of free and fair elections. So far, she has not said anything about this one, but she is poised to certify its results in January as president of the Senate.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House. Harris plans to speak at 4 p.m. Eastern at her alma mater, Howard University in D.C. Now, the Trump win came after he gained support among Black, Hispanic, and young voters. Harris falling short of President Biden's 2020 support. Trump won back Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Georgia, and again now Michigan. Republicans also regaining control of the U.S. Senate, flipping at least 3 seats. Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell says that will help control the guardrails.
Keep people who want to change the rules in order to achieve something they think is worthwhile is not successful.
In other words, McConnell says the filibuster is secure. Winning the election could effectively end the president-elect's legal woes. A federal classified documents case was already dismissed over the summer, but special counsel Jack Smith has been moving forward with an election interference case.
Here are a few scenarios that could play out. The first and most likely, Trump has his new attorney general fire special counsel Smith, dropping the charges against him. That makes the Jack Smith case history once and for all. It's also possible Smith just leaves his own case and drops it to avoid the public firing.
Fox's David Spunt in Washington. America is listening to Fox News.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter.
You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
A pretty Wednesday afternoon around town. Everything drying out. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 63 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy. 50s for evening plans. 46 for the low. Dry times Thursday. Mostly sunny. 60. Dry times Friday. Partly sunny. 62. Wet times late Friday night. Saturday and Saturday night. All gone for Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they're very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hi, Chad Hansen with Hansen's Tree Service. If your trees are looking sick or if you have insects that aren't welcome in your landscape, Hansen's can help. Our plant health care program offers tree and shrub fertilization as well as pest management to maintain a great-looking landscape. Check us out at hansenstree.com.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
The Lifestyles Unlimited team of real estate investing mentors and educators want to meet you. Learn to retire in 5 years or less in St. Louis. 2 days only, November 9th and 10th. Go to DellHelpMeNow.com. DellHelpMeNow.com. Enter code 2024.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver to detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or online at Amazon.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
And he is a feisty guy, isn't he? You know, I've said, go into the enemy camp. And you know, the enemy camp is certain networks. And a lot of people don't like to, sir, do I have to do that? He just goes, okay. Which one? CNN, MSDNC? He'll say, all right, thank you very much. He actually looks fine. He's still like the only guy I've ever seen. He really looks forward to it. And then he just goes and absolutely obliterates them. Say a couple of words.
Wow. Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me. And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America.
That is J.D. Vance on the stage last night with the president-elect Donald J. Trump. This is completely and totally wild. The results of the election that we have so far last night, the results have resoundingly come back and said, we're sick and tired of the way you've been trying to tell us to do what we do in America. We're going to take this back. We're going to give the guy who did a good job the first time another shot, and we're going to do it with a mandate. And with that, we have news that we are going to. Ethan is in studio with us right now. Ethan, you spent all last night on election coverage, tracking through and making sure that we had the tally correct in studio on our 97.1 coverage, and now we can
stamp it red.
Annie, you see this nice red dry erase marker I have
Yes, you got
here?
any ink left in it?
And not much. Not much, Annie. You know, once we got later into the night, once we got down to some of these swing states, the font got a little bigger. We got now some all caps, and
Yes.
We got some updating to do because Michigan has just been stamped red.
That is fantastic. Oh, it is just continuing to mount. It is possible, Ryan was talking about this a lot last night too, but it is actually possible that the states that are left that haven't quite been called yet could potentially, realistically, all go to Donald Trump. We're going to share our map here throughout the course of the day so that you can watch it. We know that Kamala Harris is supposed to be speaking, I think, right at the beginning of Mark Reardon's show. So Mark Reardon is probably pretty happy to hand over the top of his show to Kamala Harris's concession speech.
You go, finally, I get to hand it over to Kamala Harris. I'm excited about that for the first time.
Yes, one more final time. Let's look at the map here a little bit, and let's pay attention to what is left to call. Ryan, you want to walk us through where we are so far on the electoral vote as I'm going to go here and add Michigan to the red column?
Sure. That puts, well, I'm not looking at the same map as you, so
Well,
I
why
guess
don't you look at the one that we're looking at?
it depends,
here?
but so
that you can walk through what everybody else is. That would be great. Thank you, dear.
All right. Well, as far as swing states goes, because that's really where it matters, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, all called for Donald J. Trump, the 45th and soon-to-be 47th president of the United States. The two states that are outstanding, actually, it's three, but Alaska is one of them that's, predicted to go red as well. Nevada and Arizona, both still outstanding right now. That puts us at 292 electoral college votes for Donald Trump. So it's very possible, in fact, likely, that he would go over 300 electoral college votes.
I find it hard to believe that Arizona is not going to go red when these other states are going red.
Yeah.
So that'll push him over for sure. Oh man, you guys, what a night. Thank you to everybody who came out and hung out with us last night on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, who came out and followed along our watch party. And we just kind of went through the night together. We had about 300 people on for the majority of the evening, and we were able to dip into the wonderful coverage that 97.1 had wall to wall. We were able to partner, obviously, with Fox News because we are the local Fox News affiliate. So having the national coverage, being able to have great guests on, Will Sharf on. I heard lots of different people popping onto the coverage that we had on 97.1 FM Talk. It was all hands on deck, but when you put all the hands on deck and you get to celebrate a night like last night, it's incredibly exciting to see.
You want to talk about how brilliant Will Sharf is? Last night he came on our coverage, a little bit after 8 o'clock, I think it was, and he said he called it. He was calling. He said the race was over. He said that he was 95% positive that Donald Trump had won that race.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, okay, all right. So he's obviously feeling good, but he's down in Mar-a-Lago, so he's around his people. So we're
he's also around internal polls.
But we're taking it. I'm taking it at
You're
least with a grain of salt.
Is he a part of the party atmosphere?
Right. I'm taking it with
a
grain of salt. But then you also hear that Kamala's people are so nervous at their spot. So then you're like, okay. And then the next question, he comes back and he says, oh yeah, we're also taking the House and the Senate. We're winning all three. And we're like, okay, this guy's definitely feeling good right now, and he's looking good right now. So
the conversations that I had with Will Sharf, there are a few people who we are guests with that I'll DM with just very casually every once in a while, and I'll just be like, when I'm being particularly nervous, usually centered around the X post. And by the way, I would like to make a mandate on the Annie Fry Show that Elon Musk's one of the patriot saviors of democracy, is that the word we're using? We should start calling it X only. I don't think we should call it Twitter anymore.
Okay.
We can
retire that.
We should bury, out of honor and respect to Elon Musk, put Twitter to bed where it belongs. And let's start calling it X, because this guy, none of this happens. There are so many people, so many individual people who are just patriots, who are not government lackeys, who haven't been in the muck and the swamp for so long. People who had this ordained group of individuals who, for whatever particular reason, come around the most unseemly character that the entire country seems to have some sort of opinion on, and most people, it's not like the most positive. That this coalition of people come around Donald Trump with all the right assets. And of course, Elon Musk's greatest asset is this boatload of cash.
Yeah, that's always nice to have.
Where the literal tweet that was on Twitter said, somebody tagged Elon Musk, you should buy Twitter. And his reply was, how much is it? And then he bought it like a baller. And then he said, you know what? I know this is going to be difficult, but we're going to let people say things here. You're not going to like a lot of things that are said. And he has had to really push back on instances on X where people were saying things that he certainly didn't agree with. And he had to stand by the idea that the discussion and the discourse needs to be there in order for truth to make its way through the muck. And we don't find ourselves at this moment right now where America is going to be freer because of Elon Musk if he doesn't say, how much is it? And just buy Twitter. I will never, in the rest of my life, think of Pennsylvania and not think of Scott Presler. There should be statues of Scott Presler. Scott Presler, for whatever particular reason, and I'm going to go back, I want to go back and find the interview we did with him after he went to Baltimore and cleaned up. I think his tweet that he put out, his post that he put out, it's going to take me a minute, and you guys are going to all have to work through it with me. The post that he put out on X, I think it was this today, listed out like, I see that I'm trending. And the trending was Scott. And it said trending in conjunction with you did it. On X. Like what a moment to see all of these things coming together so that the people, so that you could still have a voice, so that when you turn on the network news, now it's just for entertainment, not for information. And you can go to whatever outlet you want to go to, and you can get the good feels or the bad feels or the ha-ha-ha feels. You can choose that from your cable news until they decide to start reporting news once again and advocating for you and not the swamp. You can turn them on and you can laugh at them. You can absolutely do that. That's what they did in 2020. We can do that now as well. Those people who have a duty in their profession as journalists to advocate for you, the American citizen, the individual, not the system, where they benefit from the power that they consolidate. You can tune them in and you can laugh at them while they are miserable. But those people are different than the voters in your life that didn't vote for Donald Trump. This is a huge, huge, huge distinction of where we need to be as people who are listening right now, who supported Donald Trump, who have not loved these last 4 years. This dirge that we have had through the last 4 years of every single decision, it's just like you grow such a thick callus to information. Brad said last night, because Brad came on the show in Labor Day week of 2021. He's like, I don't even know how to do this. You don't even know how to do a radio show where it's not just like, nope, Annie doesn't want to hear from AOC. Nope, Annie doesn't want to hear from the ladies from The View, although I tuned in today. Nope, Annie doesn't want to hear from Nancy Pelosi and all of these people who are just like, okay, I can take the information, but I can't take it from them. There are people in your life today that are incredibly sad. And this is the truth of the matter. These people are scared. They're really scared to wake up today in America and know that Donald Trump is going to be the president again. And you might be thinking, oh, Annie, that's just silly. Why would they be scared? It's because these people, the people who were allowed to laugh at in the news media, who are taking buckets and buckets of cash to try to deceive you, those are the people we laugh at. Those are the people who have set aside their journalistic integrity for their own personal gain, and they trade you as the commodity. Those people have lied to people who you love and people who you care about. The people who are in your family, the people who are in your friendship circle, the people who you have been distanced from because we've been made to behave this way, those people matter to you, and they matter more than this. And I think we would all agree, if those people take a deep breath and give it a minute, they'll realize things are about to get better for them in their pocketbook. Things are about to get better for them at the gas pump. Things are about to get safer for them in their communities, on our southern border, on the streets of whatever rural, urban, suburban community you live in. Things are about to get better in this country. They may or may not attribute it to Donald Trump. Don't give them a reason to continue their hatred of Donald Trump in their delusion. Give them a reason to say, you know what? Like so many other people said this election, I might have been wrong about some of this. That doesn't immediately translate into fawning and loving Donald Trump and, worshiping the ground he walks on. Please don't do that. That is not what he is here for. We do not need him for that. But he is the right guy. And he was led back to Washington, D.C. by patriots who are just like you. You've got Elon Musk. There's nobody like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is one of a kind. Scott Presler, he's just like us, only his heart. And I mean, is there a more kind person than Scott Presler?
I haven't come across one.
He's so incredibly, genuinely kind and hardworking and driven. You have that in you. If Scott Presler can do this in Pennsylvania, what can we do in Illinois? What can you do in St. Louis? What can you do to work to make sure that the babies' lives in the state of Missouri are valued? What can you do to make sure that the women who are also being lied to, who are also being deceived by the evil that plagues the far left on this abortion issue, these women are being lied to and told to murder their babies. And you know this and I know this. And some of them don't know this. They'll find out later in their life when maybe they see an ultrasound and they go, excuse me, what is that? If the Scott Preslers can turn Pennsylvania over to the freedom fighters, to Donald Trump, and help win the presidency of the United States, then you are not helpless in Missouri. And these babies still have hope in Missouri. It was an incredibly wonderful night. And Amendment 3 is incredibly, incredibly sad. And I don't spend a lot of time talking about Missouri politics. And we talk a lot about how they have spoils of Republicans over here. But you guys better get your act together. You look at Florida and you see that 60% threshold. Learn. Act. But I think that the people listening to this station right now, the people listening to this show right now, you know what you've learned? You cannot afford. These babies' lives cannot wait for wimpy politicians in some state capital to make the right decision at the right time to protect their lives. You're going to have to take up the helm and you're going to have to do it for them. Do not wait for these politicians on any side of the aisle, on any issue that you're passionate about, to get it right, because they will probably disappoint you. And just because you have a lot of them, I'm talking to you, Republicans now taking over the Senate, Republicans likely maintaining, if not growing potentially, the majority in the House, Donald Trump now taking the executive office. Just because you're there, that's where the work begins. And there's so much work to do. And thank the good Lord in heaven that the Republicans have the opportunity to prove to those people who have been lied to by the deceivers that exist in the air quotes journalistic networks that provide us our news. Thank goodness that the Republicans have the opportunity to show the work, to do the work, to explain to these people, maybe I've been wrong about this. Let's talk more about the results when we come back. Ryan is going to go probably Nerd City on us.
Oh, I'm ready.
Let me at him. You gonna crush some turds?
Let's crush some turds. If you weren't on the stream, you won't know what in the world we're talking about.
Crushing turds, man.
Crushing turds like Mario. Crushing turds in Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3.
Let's get down to the bottom of it. Brad as well has lots of thoughts, I'm sure. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a good day. And we are so happy to have you here along with us on the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk. We'll be right back.
For me, and I'm feeling good.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
I'm feeling good.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Stewart's American Mortgage, man, I don't know what the heck's going to happen with mortgage rates, but when you want to make sure that you got the guy navigating all the ups and downs and the crazy stuff out there, who knows what he's talking about. It's Stewie, 100%. I text Stewie with financial questions, figuring out what the Fed's going to do, what's going to happen next. He knows. He knows at least. Well, actually, what he always says is, I think he said his dad or his grandpa says, nobody knows nothing. But he has a great, keen sense of once decisions are made, what moves on down the road, and your mortgage being the biggest bill that you likely have, you want to make sure that you're not overpaying. Let's get back to the place where we're not overpaying. Am I right? 314-324-4440. The reason you choose the bagel loan is because when you refinance your mortgage in Missouri or Illinois, you pay no closing costs to do that, which means you can potentially secure a much lower rate and not have to pay the closing costs to get that secure. If you're interested in a new mortgage, or if you're interested in a mortgage refinance with a bagel loan where there are $0 in closing costs, 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Have you ever been told you can't get into the water for 30 minutes after eating because you can cramp up and drown? And then you were told if you eat watermelon seeds, you're going to grow a watermelon in your stomach. Swallowing gum it'll stay in your stomach for 7 years. Don't sit too close to the TV or you'll go blind. Wow, these aren't your peers saying this is your, people you're counting on that you believe and you trust. Or the air conditioning that we have now isn't good enough for you, so you need to do this. I don't know, guys. If you have questions, you have doubts, and you want common sense approach to, heating and cooling your home affordably, call me, Bart Inman, one really easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600, or bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Our favorite reason to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler? Free service for life with no fine print. That's right. When you buy your engagement ring or any piece of jewelry at Diamonds Direct, you will never have to pay a dime in the future for sizing, cleaning, or routine maintenance. Even if she accidentally knocks out a side accent diamond, Diamonds Direct will replace it free. Now, other stores claim to offer warranties, but the catch is that they won't honor it unless you bring your ring in for regular inspections. But at Diamonds Direct, inspections are never required. There's no gotcha clause. No fine print, no looking for ways to void the warranty. Plain and simple, at Diamonds Direct, we stand behind what we sell, and we're committed to service it at no charge for life, period. It's all part of our commitment to provide you with the ultimate in value and total confidence before, during, and long after your purchase. Diamonds Direct, the jeweler you can trust with a no questions asked 100% free lifetime warranty with no strings attached. Come see us to learn more. Proud to call the Lou home. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at ThrottleNet, and you've probably heard George Rosenthal from ThrottleNet on the show. He's a technology whiz, and George and his team can educate you and your business on the dangers lurking with technology. Here's a unique opportunity along those lines. Does your company have a lunch and learn or guest speakers? For a limited time, ThrottleNet is providing free lunch and learns to provide cybersecurity awareness training. One click can cause a ton of damage to your business. ThrottleNet is determined to make sure that doesn't happen. And if it does, they're the cybersecurity experts who can help. ThrottleNet is known for high customer satisfaction, averaging 99% happiness with over 35,000 surveys. They have an industry-leading response time of less than 2 minutes. And no clients of ThrottleNet have ever paid ransom as a result of a cyber attack. Contact ThrottleNet at throttlenet.com/971 and we can schedule your free company lunch. Don't miss out. Find out more today about ThrottleNet at throttlenet.com/971.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Fall weather is on its way. Time to schedule your heating system check to make sure you heat your home safely. Schedule your heating system check today at aircomfortservice.com.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
Responder Rescue is serving area first responders, and all this month they're hosting an ATF raffle. Mark Cox here. Join us in supporting Responder Rescue as part of our First Responder Spotlight. Learn more at 971talk.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. I got a text from someone that said, Happy VT Day. Victory Trump.
Victory Trump Day.
Yes, I'm okay with that. Let's go.
November 6th, from here on out, shall hence be known as VT Day.
Henceforth.
Yes.
Ooh, we can have a Ryan Shire Wigglesworth discussion with whoever that just was, with Brad.
Yeah, who is that guy, Brad?
I don't have a name for him.
Somebody in the chat will give you a name.
Lives in the back of my brain.
I was talking about the media in the last segment, and I think that this is such an important, huge, important part of what took place in this campaign and this past moment. We talked about this quite a bit, that, YouTube was a major factor in the Obama original one. People didn't know about YouTube, but they knew how to grasp it and harness it and use it. Trump utilized Facebook in a really, really big way ahead of his time in 2016. In 2020, it was kind of an inverse way of doing it, but essentially the Biden campaign just made it so that they shut everybody down from the bureaucracy of who could talk with whom out of the Justice Department. But podcasters, consumption of discussion of important political situations where how many times did the people who supported Donald Trump, they're like, we invited everybody on. These are the people who came. Dana White was speaking last night.
I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelk Boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn, Bustin' with the Boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan.
So can you imagine being, I adore Theo Vaughn. I think he's adorable. That's the best word that I can come up with for it. I think he's adorable. I'm sure he'd really appreciate that. Can you imagine Donald Trump wins re-election in the most historic political comeback of all time, and Dana White is on the stage with Donald Trump going, Theo Vaughn. That's the impact here.
And I don't know what these people think about that. I'm sure they're like, "Oh, that's cool for me. You get a lot of attention."
They got to be just jaw dropped. Like, wow.
Yeah, like how am I the person that is being thanked at the speech that the president is giving right when he's receiving the president-elect title?
I think I can answer that question. I think it's because they were honest. They were fair. They were balanced. They had these people on their show. They let the candidates speak for themselves, and their viewers got to see the real Donald Trump, and they got to see the not weird, totally normal J.D. Vance. And
the most normal person in the history of normal people.
That guy's so normal, it's suspicious.
It is. It's weird.
And then when you look at how the big media outlets portrayed them compared to what people saw on these podcasts, it allowed the truth of who they are to really come through. I have a question for you guys. Do you think this is not the death knell, but maybe the death knell of the significance of the big media outlets? Is their influence fading, waning, or gone?
Oh my gosh, completely. Which is why I was saying in the first segment, when you are a Trump supporter today, you couldn't have written this. Like if you were told when you were sitting in your house in November or December of 2020, January of 2021, if you were sitting there and someone said, this sucks, but here's what happens in 2024, you'd kind of go, okay. Like it would be it would give you a piece that would make all of this much more bearable, but you didn't have that information. And you guys said it, I think, Ryan, you said it the most yesterday. Like, we have 2020 PTSD. 2022, expectations are high, deliverables are low. So the media, the ability of the media to control your brain and your mind, there might be no bigger casualty.
Yeah, I was going to say it's one of the biggest victories Donald Trump has been able to achieve in his now 10 years in the public eye in politics, is really smashing the credibility of media. It's like he's so outlandish and he's such a caricature of what you'd think of as a normal president that it's like they can't not take the bait every time. Like he goes, I heard Joy Behar say it this morning. Well, and she said it in the same breath as, we just need to start teaching kids more about how to spot disinformation. This man is going to be, he said he's going to be a dictator on day one. She said that all in one monologue. So she is espousing misinformation or disinformation.
She's delusional.
Yes. And he has broken these people.
Yeah.
And to your point, Brad, the answer is yes. This has been happening. It's not a quick slide. It's been a slide, though, to where everybody now questions everything they hear from all sources.
Which is what you should do anyway.
Which is great. Which is the point.
So when we're sitting in our basement last night, I think that the live stream we did was over 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
It was over 6 hours.
Congratulations to us. Let me raise my little styrofoam glass here.
It's styrofoam glass. Okay. Bobby Kennedy Jr. is going to put a stop to that, I'm sure. When we're sitting there in my basement and you're watching this, we've done this multiple times. Were you in 2020 you went to Disney World?
Accidentally. I had scheduled it for May, and then COVID shut it down. I rescheduled it and didn't realize.
Yeah, we were like 2 weeks away. He goes, oh. So he was sitting at a resort while that was going on. Womp womp. Our producer got COVID. So I sat in my basement by myself. My husband would like come and go and hang out with me, but not on the stream. But last night, the three of us were at a table in my basement. We counted that we had 10 screens at minimum in one room up in front of us, and we're taking in all this information. But while you're in there and you're just like kind of calling balls and strikes and reacting in real time, it's kind of hard to like process it emotionally. I mean, so much stuff is happening and you got to stay on task the whole time. So I'm just kind of wondering, Ryan, like today, apart from it, where you're just able to sit and think in your own thoughts, any interesting takeaways from the night, from the way it's materialized? We have Trump at 292 right now because Michigan was called. They waited until we started the show, which was really, really kind. I had asked them to do that. Michigan.
You have an in with Jocelyn Benson.
Is that Ariel?
She's like
from
the Secretary
Little
of
Mermaid?
State.
He's dropping
that's Jody
names.
Benson. 292 Trump to Harris's 226. Swing states are still out there to be picked up, and Trump looks good in all of them. The day after, what do you think?
Well, first of all, I have not had a chance to process this. So when you started the show today and you said, well, welcome to a world where we're calling Donald Trump president-elect again, it was like a wave of fresh understanding washed over me. And oh, my God.
2016 was like that.
It was, and it is that way again, I think, because we've been on. I mean, we're not able to sort of just sit and text with people.
Ruminate.
This morning, I got here at the normal time. I thought, I'm going to try to sleep in. Couldn't sleep in. It's just too much going on. Showed up, trying to get some work done, doing some promos. I actually wrote one last night in the midst of all of it.
Yeah.
That our voice guy sent back to me.
Crushing turds in the studio.
Yeah, crushing some turds. And he sent it back to me, and part of the copy, you'll hear it run probably in our show because it's running now. It says, this is real. This actually happened. And that's me projecting that, going, yeah, I'm reminding myself. But as far as results go, we said we'd look at some numbers here. Trump looks like he's going to take all 7 swing states.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And that is legitimately what, the needle is pointing to at this point. Which is a landslide. It's a landslide. Mm-hmm. It does look like he's going to carry the popular vote. We're not sure about that yet, but it looks like it. These things will take a little bit of time. But here's another big takeaway that if you're a Politico, you're going, holy smokes, this is being underreported. The Republicans are taking back the Senate. That's a guarantee now.
But not just taking back the Senate.
They're not just taking it back like, oh, they got to 50-50 and now they're going to have J.D. Vance be the tie-breaking vote. They are now sitting at what is likely 52 seats minimum. Okay? So 52 seat minimum in this day and age is like a substantial majority. But you're sitting here looking at all these states, Arizona, Nevada, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, all have yet to be called. Now, these states are mostly trending in a direction that makes you skeptical that they're going to...
In my mind, I'm listening to The Princess Bride going, they're only mostly red.
It doesn't look like Carrie Lake's going to pick it off, but there's still a lot of that vote to be counted. But I do want to point this out. Now, while Rogers could still win Michigan, McCormick looks like he has a very good chance of winning Pennsylvania. That one is probably the favorite at this point. I always pronounce his name wrong. Havdi is looks like he's behind in Wisconsin. Those are the Republicans. There's one that people are not talking about, and I'm following. There's no articles about this. I'm following the lead pollster for the big newspaper in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. He keeps reporting that, and he's a Democrat, don't get me wrong. He keeps reporting that Rosen, the Democrat, is this many votes away. It looks like she's going to lock this thing up over Brown, the Republican. But then he keeps having to drop data like this, for instance. He says, Nye County, and I don't know Nevada, but he does. Nye County is a very red county. Oh, shoot. They didn't count almost any of the votes in Nye County.
Uh-oh.
So these are being counted now, and it's very possible, he says, Brown, the Republican, will win those votes by at least 2-1. So that's a margin that could...
You're talking about the Nevada Senate race?
Yes, that could push another red senator over the line, but we're still waiting to see. That one was way off the radar, too. That's why that one's exciting.
Well, I mean, this is something that I remember from 2020. Everybody was so focused on the presidential race, which didn't go the way I wanted it to go, of course, with Joe Biden winning. But the Republicans did take the House. And Nancy Pelosi got sent packing. Who's more irrelevant today in Washington, D.C.? Like, who's had a bigger fall than Nancy Pelosi? What does she have left?
I would hope to throw Chuck Schumer in that category. But, I mean, yeah, you're right. These former leaders.
Yes, it's really quite amazing to see. So, all right, let's take a quick break. We'll get more reaction, of course, throughout the course of today's show. Kamala Harris will be speaking at 3 o'clock. We'll make sure we find out what the plan is to air there and hear Kamala Harris one last time. Oh, man, it makes me want to dance with somebody. I'm so excited, guys. Thank you for being here. Weekends America, which I have no idea what's next. It's everybody's America today. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
STS-Armory.com in Pontoon Beach, Illinois. Your Second Amendment rights are alive and well with the people at STS Armory. Katie and Jesse Johnson, gosh, I want to go see them. I don't know why. I'm feeling a little extra patriotic today. I want to go to STS Armory. What about you? Go tell them I said hi when you do. If you're looking for ammunition, if you are looking for a new firearm, if you're looking for something for hunting, a shotgun or whatever it might be, when you go to STS Armory, they're going to guide you through the process. Make sure that you make a purchase that you're really confident in. They have great upfront pricing on all of their merchandise. If you go online to STS-Armory.com, you'll be able to see a lot of the different types of inventory that they carry. And it's more than just firearms and ammunition. It's safety and security devices. It's survival stuff, if you're interested in that. Accessories that you might need. Go online to STS-Armory.com and start your shopping process today. And then when you find something you might like, go see them. Go tell Katie and Jesse hi in Pontoon Beach, Illinois. 618-931-GUNS. 618-931-GUNS in Pontoon Beach. Online at STS-Armory.com.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
We all know how important nutrition is to our health, and now is the time to do something about it. With Neovitamin Women's Multivitamin, you can give your body sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your daily health. Created by a St. Louis physician, Neovitamin Women's Multivitamin is formulated with our proprietary blend for daily support you won't find anywhere else. Best of all, you can get Neovitamin Women's Multivitamin delivered right to your door with our convenient monthly subscription. Go to neovitamin.com and sign up for a subscription today.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
I love today's YouTube live chat poll, the way it's worded. So, what happened in the election results? The options are Trump won, Kamala lost, or both. Now, when I read it, you're like, well, I know what happened. But when you read the
What
possibilities,
happened?
yeah.
Like, you know, the book that Hillary wrote?
Uh-huh. So
the sequel.
what happened?
Coming to a Borders bookshelf near you somewhere.
In the election results. Now, those three options are interesting to think about. So think about it. Vote Trump won, Kamala lost, or both. Let us know what you think. 1247. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
45.
We had a great first term, a great first term.
47.
God spared my life for a reason.
Donald Trump elected President of the United States again. It actually happened.
From the wackos on the left to the MAGAs on the right, they know I'm beating Kamala. This race won't even be tied. Her policies are nutso. She's out her goddamn mind. She just repeats the same thing, regurgitating her lines. She thinks that immigration without paperwork is good. Clearly not too much power underneath Kamala's hood. Borders are, it's what you are. Borders are. Cackling Kamala, you're dumb. Mass inflation imminent if she weasels herself in. If that don't
Wiggins!
Oh!
Wiggins! We're going to have a new border czar.
No, we're going to have a border.
We're going to have a border.
We're going to have a border. And then somebody to watch over it.
It's all these things
Oh
that
my
are
gosh,
going
it's such a big deal.
They're going to hit slowly. We're going to have somebody enforcing a border again.
You're going to be driving down the road, and that little light bulb moment's going to come for just another thing, and you're going to be smiling really big like a psychopath in your car, and you're going to be driving, you're going to look to your right, and that person's going to be smiling too.
It's going to be, the middle of March, and you're going to be filling up your car. It's going to be a little cheaper, and you're going to go, oh, yeah, I remember November 6th. They were talking about that. Did I get a raise? No, I didn't get a raise.
Yeah, no. Just Trump.
You know what I did? I didn't know what the results were going to be. I had a feeling, but I prepared this ahead of time to do regardless of what the outcome of the election was. It's the greatest, or the reasons why America is a great nation. And so I'll share these. These are from Patrick Henry College, which is for Christ and for liberty is what their motto is.
It's the only way an article like this would ever get released.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I guess if you're reading the 10 reasons why America is truly a great nation, you're probably not going to be reading that from Stanford,
MSNBC,
any other institution. So I'll go through these, and we can just sort of talk about them. First one, America was the first nation to introduce constitutional government to the world.
Bam.
Stamp it red.
We did that.
Darn right we did that. I should have come up with a sounder, or you should have. I just said, we did that.
Oh, right. As you literally said, stamp it red when you made a sounder for that.
Number two, America was the first nation to protect religious freedom for all.
So these are things that we're happy about.
We're
America
happy about.
in a bipartisan way.
And
Read that one again.
Okay. America was the first nation to protect religious freedom for all.
For all or from all?
For all.
So we get religious freedom.
Yes.
You're not free to be
away from it.
To disallow other people their religious freedom.
I think I see the distinction you're making there in the wording that's in the Bill of Rights. The difference between freedom from religion, which is not in the Constitution, or freedom of religion, which is.
Man, I was subbing a class one time. This was during COVID, and the teacher was home doing remote, so they had to have a substitute in the room. And this teacher tells this class, so the United States had freedom of religion, so the Pilgrims wanted to get away from religion. So they left England, said, we don't want your religion anymore. I'm like, okay. And then we don't have to have religion now that we're here. And she finished the lesson, and as soon as she was done, I was like, that's not accurate at all.
No, that's not. Everybody knows that.
They wanted to freely practice their religion, which is what the United States guarantees.
Without an imposed religion that was serving quasi as the government structure to overlord over you, to take power in the name of religion so that they could rule your lives.
Exactly.
Is that a problem?
Isn't it weird, though, to read these? Think of, we're sitting here in a future Trump America again, and we could be sitting here in a future Kamala world and reading these and going, would we still, religious freedom has been worn away, but you have somebody who's made that a part of his platform.
You might have it in title. They're like, oh yeah, of course. No, you can't do that. Well, they asked her that one time, would you honor people's religious objections to abortion, providing abortion services like the Little Sisters Hospital or whatever that was? And she wouldn't say no.
That was recent.
Yes.
That wasn't like one from 2020 that she's backtracked on. That was she said recently. Number 3, America defeated Nazi Germany.
Hooray!
Yes! Let's go! We did it!
High fives all around.
All right. Raise your styrofoam glasses.
Your what?
Hold on.
I gotta go get one of those. What is that?
By the way, the stuff that's in these glasses will, as of,
That's
I think...
a cup.
Right. It can't be styrofoam and glass.
Don't worry about it. I'm using glass as a generic term.
We're very worried about it.
No, don't worry about it. No.
Not glass.
RFK is going to get the fluoride out of that. That's what I keep reading today. Number 4, America stood down Soviet communism in the Cold War.
Hooray! Yeah, America!
Yeah! That's only number 4, you guys. We got 6 more of these.
Yeah,
You freaking kidding me? Come on. All right, number 5. America is the most generous nation on earth. If there's a disaster anywhere in the world, you can count on America to help.
Facts.
Our free market system makes it possible for us to share, but it is in our hearts and our values that compel us to do so.
Yes.
That's true.
That is very true, and it is overlooked.
The United States basically rebuilt and funded the rebuilding of Europe after World War I and World War II.
It's not just overlooked. It's taken advantage of. Like the people out there know that is the case, and Donald Trump just simply says, in many cases, we'll keep doing what we're doing, but you've got to step up too, because the amount of good or effort or defense or whatever the situation is that can be achieved, you can't just come to us for us to be your piggy bank, because that's not generosity. That's why you're taking advantage of somebody. And if you're going to be generous, you're not generous to people who just constantly take you for granted. You want to be appreciated, and you need other people to participate in the way that they're supposed to be. Like the world that we live in outside of Donald Trump, and this is just in recent history that I know and understand more. These people have such high expectations, very, very loud and vocal judgments about the Americans. But boy, do they want our dollar.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
With their nose stuck up in the air. And he's like, you're going to get our dollar, potentially, but here's how it's going to go. And this is what you're going to do for us. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, sure.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Number 6. America has led the world in technology and innovation. First to fly, first on the moon, first to mass produce automobiles, the internet, cell phones, and more, all American.
First to land a rocket.
Elon Musk. I love the story that Trump tells the stories over and over and over again. But I love the one where he's talking to Elon. He's like, can Russia do that? And Elon's like, nope. Can China do that? Nope.
That was part of his speech last night.
Can the United States do this? Nope.
That was probably my favorite part of the speech, just because it was the most Trump thing ever. Like, you go into a victory speech declaring that you've won the presidency back, and Trump for at least 4 minutes is talking about
the way
Elon
he
Musk,
landed a rocket.
Him putting a very important person on hold that was in the crowd, and him watching it for 45 minutes with this person on hold, and him saying, "Wow, this is unbelievable." It was that was the best part of the speech.
Yeah, you see it come down, it wraps its little arms around it, and you can't believe it. How did it even happen?
Do you have a paint that can withhold the
Yeah, he
the
said,
heat?
no, it hasn't been made yet. Like, this is your victory speech.
Yeah.
I want to hit one more here because a lot of these are kind of related. American medical care is the best on the planet. We subsidize this across the world, too. Nobody ever talks about that. And America has made genuine racial progress and has led the world in doing so.
It's the God's honest truth.
Yep.
It's the God's honest truth. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a good day. It's a good day to be with you, and thank you for being with us. Deroy Murdock and Joe Concha. Hold on tight. Great 1 o'clock hour on the Annie Fry Show. Next.
Clearly not too much power underneath Kamala's hood. Borders are.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
IGotFloored.com. That's the website to go shopping for your flooring. Missouri and Illinois, listen up. Michael's Flooring Outlet, family-owned and operated business, getting back to the idea of shopping local and supporting those people who support the things that you support. Michael's Flooring Outlet, what a long-time supporter of 97.1 and of the Annie Fry Show. You go to Michael's Flooring Outlet and you're shopping for flooring. That's what they do. They're experts at carpet, at vinyl, at luxury vinyl plank, at hardwood, at tile, at residential, at commercial. And when you've been in business for like 3 decades as a family-owned and operated business, and a wonderful family, I might add, this is how you know that these people are dedicated to making sure that their customers are satisfied. When you go onto IGotFloored.com, you're going to be able to see, they link them right there because they're very proud of them. They're reviews of folks just like you who are looking for flooring, who chose to go to Michael's Flooring Outlet, and we're happy to recommend that others do so as well. For your flooring purchase, residential or commercial, IGotFloored.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
As a Fox News alert, Harris concedes on Lisa Brady. Just getting word that Vice President Kamala Harris has called President-elect Donald Trump to congratulate him on winning the election. A senior aide says Harris discussed the importance of a peaceful transfer of power and of being a president for all Americans. 2 hours from now, she is scheduled to make her first public remarks about the election results in a speech at her alma mater, Howard University in D.C.
We don't know what the vice president is going to say this afternoon, aside from conceding this election, because some sources are admitting to me right now the Democrat Party is soul searching. As one person put it, the Democratic Party has no leader right now, period, because they cast Joe Biden, the sitting president, aside, and the candidate that they installed lost really big. Not only was the party very far out of touch with the majority of the electorate on big issues like immigration and the economy, but their strategy of telling people not to believe their lying eyes just simply did not work.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich. Meantime, the president-elect has completed a blue wall sweep, adding Michigan to his wins, which, along with Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, wraps up a take-back of traditionally Democratic states, first won by Trump in 2016 and then lost to President Biden 4 years ago.
It's possible he may do a clean sweep of all the battleground states. The RNC chairman says Trump simply outworked Kamala Harris, relying on regular people, not celebrities or singers.
Fox's Bill Malugin. Trump is only the second U.S. president ever to regain the office, and he's also winning the popular vote. Republicans also winning back control of the U.S. Senate, flipping at least 3 seats, with several close races still not called. Control of the House is undecided, with more of those races still being counted. Hurricane Rafael, now a Category 3 storm, expected to hit Cuba later today and then move into the Gulf of Mexico. America is listening to Fox News.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter.
You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed to keep out of reach of children.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
A pretty Wednesday afternoon around town. Everything drying out. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 63 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy. 50s for evening plans. 46 for the low. Dry times Thursday. Mostly sunny. 60. Dry times Friday. Partly sunny. 62. Wet times late Friday night, Saturday, and Saturday night. All gone for Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Attention veterans and active military.
Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is doubling their usual veterans discount on all products and services in November. That means veterans and active military get 10% off all month at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, 10% off all doors, openers, and any service or repair. Details on their website. Schedule your annual garage door tune-up before winter really sets in. Just call 314-781-5200 or schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Attention Missouri Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care with help preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more. A family member or friend that gets paid instantly after every shift. It's all funded by Medicaid and 100% free to you. Call now to check your eligibility. New to Medicaid, the Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 5,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. This service is free to you through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers are paid instantly. So go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915.
Tony La Russa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
We know you've got an interesting take on things. You can tell us by clicking the microphone button next to Listen Live when you're on the Odyssey app. Record a short message for us to hear when you tune into 97.1 on the Odyssey app.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
For goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
These Democratic leaders are simpletons. They're servants of the donor class. So they go in there, they're like, oh, donor, give me money, please. And I made an ad. I'm Kamala Harris. I'm full of joy. Okay, well, what did that get you? And they say, oh, Jake, you're too angry. Too angry? What? You think, does Donald Trump look like he's kind? Does he look like he's in a good mood? I mean, no, people want some sort of reaction from their politicians. They want them to represent them, to fight for them. But that has never occurred to a Democrat outside of Bernie Sanders, and probably we never will. So look, I have no interest in listening to a single Democratic politician ever again.
That's Cenk. He's Young Turks, right? Cenk is not okay, but I kind of get what there's an element there that I understand, maybe not in the Bernie Sanders realm, but did the Democrat Party listen to the American people? Should the Democrat Party be surprised today that Donald Trump wins with a mandate? I don't know. You know who might have a thought on this? Deroy Murdock, our friend. We have results, Deroy, and you are back on the show with us, a nationally syndicated columnist and Fox News contributor. What a pleasure it is to speak with you today, Deroy Murdock.
Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day.
Exactly. I mean,
after all these months of suspense, finally a happy ending.
Yes, not polls, not anticipation, just hardcore results. Your thoughts on last night's results as they came in?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm pleasantly surprised that you and I are able to talk about a conclusion to this endless campaign on Wednesday afternoon. Of course, we could have done this probably about almost exactly 12 hours ago. I thought we probably wouldn't have any clear results maybe till tonight or Thursday or something like that. And in fact, we had a winner declared by Fox News last night at about 1:20 Eastern time. When Trump won in 2016, it wasn't until 2:40 a.m. And then when Biden won last in 2020, it wasn't until I think about roughly 10:11 a.m. on Saturday. So, whether people are happy or unhappy with the result, at least we have a solid result as of last night, which is when we should hear who's elected on the election night. What a concept! As for the substance of it, this is a complete blowout by Donald J. Trump, winning as of now 292 electoral votes. The so-called blue wall turned bright red with the Republican victories in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. He won the popular vote. First time in 20 years Republicans won the electoral vote and the popular vote, and wasn't close. It's by about 4.8 million. They're still counting ballots, but I'm sure that will stick. So this man has a clear mandate, a clear support among the public for his agenda, and the Democrats are just wiped out. People are sick and tired of all the spending, absurd, ridiculous government programs that don't work, the destruction of our southern border, roughly 10 million people brought in here without any invitation, without papers, without visas and passports. And bad enough they come in, but then they cut in front of Americans who are waiting in line for all sorts of public services, and they get treated first while Americans end up in second place. This whole concept of, let's talk to our 8, 9, and 10-year-old boys and girls about whether they're really boys or they're really girls or are they something else, and let's talk to them about sex before they're able to spell the word. I think people the American public looked at all that and just hurled it back up at the Democrats, and they now have to sit down on some hard chairs and decide, are they going to stand up for what they were before, which is basically, let's help the poor be more prosperous and let's focus on that, or are they going to be the party of endless mandates and nonstop regulations and exotica and ridiculous cultural nonsense? And if they don't get the message, then I hope at 2026 we wipe them out even further and push them further into where I want them to be eventually, which is behind plexiglass somewhere in the Smithsonian Institution.
We're speaking with our friend Deroy Murdock, a nationally syndicated columnist, Fox News contributor. We ask a poll every day to our audience on our YouTube channel, and today's is, so what happened in the election results? Do you think that Donald Trump effectively won this campaign? Do you think Kamala Harris lost this campaign with the way that they ran, the decisions that they made, the things they did and didn't do? Or do you think it's a combination of the two?
I think it's definitely a combination of the two. I think that Kamala Harris's first big mistake was, and I'm sure other people have said this, picking Tim Walz rather than Josh Shapiro. If she'd picked Josh Shapiro, they, I think, would have had Pennsylvania locked up. Instead of spending a whole lot of time and money and effort there trying to win that and then losing it, they could have focused their energies on winning other states and maybe, in fact, win Michigan, maybe, in fact, win Wisconsin, what have you. Number one. Number two, Walz turned out to be he said it himself, a knucklehead, as he said in his debate. I thought the debate went terribly, and he's just kind of a very strange guy, and I don't think added anything to the ticket. Whereas Shapiro, I'm sure we don't agree with him on many issues, but he's very well spoken. He's very polished. If you listen to the way he talks, he basically, I think, watched a lot of Obama's speeches and adopted that Obama-like speaking style. So he's sort of like a white Obama in terms of the way he speaks, which is very effective, and that would have been very smart. She needed to figure out some way to separate herself from Joe Biden and say, look, I like the guy. I'm really grateful he picked me, but, I would have done one thing. I would have closed Bagram Air Force Base last and evacuated Afghanistan from there rather than close it first. If she could point to one thing and say I would have done that differently, it would have been given her something to say other than like, gee, I can't think of one thing I would have done differently, which is ridiculous. And then I think Donald J. Trump, to his credit, as he did in 2016 and 2020, just campaigned like crazy. I think he did 4 rallies yesterday. He did endless podcasts. He did interviews. He did press conferences. He seemed to be having a great time doing the McDonald's appearance there, working the fryer. The other day when we showed up wearing a reflective vest on stage, and before that, driving a garbage truck that said Trump Vance on it to make fun of Biden's comment that we're all a bunch of garbage. That got great laughs, and he just always looked relaxed and self-confident and that sort of thing. Well, meanwhile, she hid in the basement, wouldn't do interviews for the longest time. When she did come out and give interviews, she gave terrible answers. And even, last night she didn't show up at her rally or her, I guess, wake, if you will, and say, look, she could have come out and said, listen, thank you for coming. We're still counting ballots. We'll see what happens. I'm glad you're here. And, I look forward to being your next president. And people would have walked away with some sense of dignity that even if she, is losing, at least she could show her face. Instead, she sent one of her minions out, didn't bother to show up. And I think she's going to show up at finally at 4 o'clock this afternoon and give a concession speech. But she couldn't even make an appearance before her supporters yesterday, which I thought was very weak.
I want to ask you, Deroy, about what the Republicans can learn from this moment, because even though there's a victory, that doesn't mean you can't look back and reflect on what worked and maybe what didn't work so well. What do you think that the Republican Party needs to do going forward to make sure that the momentum continues in their direction?
Good question. I think the outreach to minorities was tremendous. I believe Trump got something like 41% of the Hispanic vote, if I remember correctly, maybe even higher. That was a big part of his victory. The outreach to black voters also added to his column. That was enormously helpful. In terms of what could the campaign or what could the party do differently, I think there should have been a much stronger outreach to female voters. I didn't see much of that. I know this came up a couple times certainly in the first debate that Trump did against Biden. What's your plan on child care? I think it was asked a question. He talked about something else. And okay, again, the question is, what's your plan on child care? And he didn't have one. I'm not sure exactly what the answer is, but he needs something other than no answer. So I think more of an outreach to women would have been important. There was definitely an outreach to black men. Why not an outreach to black women? That would have been important. I think simply talking about school choice is a big plus. I mean, that's something that obviously appeals to mothers, certainly appeals to black moms. I heard less about school choice than I would have liked. And I always think, I guess we did, it was too big to rig last night, thankfully. But I think there needs to be a real focus on vote fraud, I think we ought to get back to Election Day with voter ID, with paper ballots, with making sure the voter rolls are honest and not filled with dead people and people who've moved away and illegal aliens and so forth, foreign citizens of whatever kind. So I think we may have made some progress in election integrity, but I think there's a long way to go, and that needs to continue.
We're speaking with Deroy Murdock, our friend and Fox News contributor, nationally syndicated columnist as well. Now, let's talk about the Democrats. I did tune in to The View today. Couldn't not do it, and I've never done that before.
It's on my DVR. I'm actually going to watch that a little bit later.
I didn't even know what time it actually started, but because I always see clips, but I've never been like appointment watching here.
Right.
Some of them I was impressed with some of the ways that they spoke on it, but others, Sunny Hostin in particular, man, she's very, very upset about the outcome, and there's a lot of blaming on the voters for being too stupid to understand what to do in this election. What do you think that the Democrat Party's takeaway should be, and what do you think they will do?
I'm sorry about all the emergency equipment.
That's okay, as long as you're safe.
Hopefully my building is not burning down as maybe our last interview, Annie.
No, don't do that.
The folks on The View, well, again, it's just the deep denial. It's the voters' fault. The voters are stupid. They don't understand that Trump is Hitler, blah, blah, blah. And we hear all this nonsense. I would say to them, why don't you, The View, Sunny Hostin and the others, sit down and figure out, what did you do wrong? What is it about, despite all the warnings about, death camps, I suppose, and everything else, the American people still showed up and a majority voted for him. It could be they like the message of prosperity. They appreciate the fact that not that many years ago, 4 years ago when Trump was president, we had a booming economy. We had no new wars. We had 4 Middle East peace agreements. Crime was falling. And people generally, until COVID came along and wrecked everything, people were generally happy. And maybe people want more of the same. And so maybe the Democrat Party and the left should figure out how do we try to implement that model as opposed to what they have now is just high taxes, high spending, resentment. I don't know if you heard about this situation here in New York about Peanut the squirrel. Is that gotten out there at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that made it through.
What a perfect example of out of control government. This guy has a squirrel he adopted because the mommy squirrel got hit by a car, I guess. So he adopted a baby squirrel, kept it as a pet for 5 or 6 years, and for some reason or other, the New York State Department of Wildlife Control or Environmental Protection, whatever, they set up a raid with 10 different people who went in, raided his house for 5 hours, took the squirrel out, took out a raccoon apparently he had, and euthanized them. So they saved the squirrel and raccoon by killing them. Now, we have here in New York City where I live, we have rape, we've got murder, out of control illegal aliens, smash and grab thefts, and all this stuff. And the government for which I pay money in New York State, not New York City, but still the same state, cops I'm paying for are running down and invading this guy's house, 10 of them, having a SWAT type of a raid, and it ends up they're trying to save the poor baby squirrel. And they kill it, which is this beautiful little pet this guy had, which he took care of from the moment its mother was killed by a car. And we're spending money and time on that. This is what you get when you vote Democrats, and you get out of control, expensive government just wreaking havoc and destruction. And I think a poor little dead squirrel, may his soul rest in peace, is just a perfect example of what was rejected by the American people yesterday at the polls.
Yes, completely. Deroy, you don't have a squirrel in your apartment there, do you? Is that what those police are for?
Maybe they're coming in looking for squirrels. I don't know. I like squirrels, but I've never had a pet squirrel. I enjoy them at a distance when they're in public parks and running up trees.
Well, Deroy, we appreciate everything that you've been able to share with us leading up to last night's results and today. And I look very much forward to our conversations in the future having a much more forward-thinking, positive tone, because we've got good news to celebrate, and we're always glad to celebrate it with you.
Well, I look forward to a lot less doom and gloom and a lot more happy days.
Yes, happy days are here again. Thank you, Deroy.
All right, Annie. Thank you. Take care.
You as well. Bye-bye. Deroy Murdock, a Fox News contributor, nationally syndicated columnist, friend here on the Annie Fry Show every Wednesday. Another Fox News contributor coming up next. Hold on tight, because Joe Concha is going to be on with us. I was messaging a little bit with him last night, and he was a cool cucumber the entire evening, and he was like, Annie, chill out, it's going to be fine. I'm like, well, they should call Georgia. And I don't think that he was concerned at all the way I was concerned. And you know, we talked about the PTSD that exists from years past where all of a sudden it's all going one way, and that's just the most recent memory we have. Joe is right. We've talked to many people. Tammy Bruce is another one that comes to mind who's like, everybody hold the line, stay calm. Donald Trump's going to do this. Tyrus was the one who was frequently saying, guys, it's going to be a landslide. He was right. Joe Concha, also one of them. And he's going to come break down his assessment of last night's election results. As they continue to come in here, we are going to cover all of this news as it happens and get reaction from our friend Joe Concha on the Annie Fry Show next. Don't go away.
I saw you dancing in a crowded room. You look so happy when I'm not with you. But then you saw me, caught you by surprise. A single teardrop falling.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
We're all looking to save money. I certainly am. I've got a family of 6, and the grocery cart is expensive these days. That's why we shop at Ruler Foods. Every time we have the opportunity to swing by and get fresh produce. Guacamole is one of my favorite things that my husband gets the produce fresh from Ruler Foods. Great avocados. Avocados are kind of tough, you know, difficult to find really good, ripe, perfectly ready avocados. We love to go to Ruler Foods and get theirs. Salads, prepackaged salads, fresh vegetables, fresh fruit. Also, we love to stock up on meat there. Fill our freezer up with meat so that we can afford to feed healthy meals to our family of 6. Ruler Foods always has great low prices for you. And if you've driven past the Ruler Foods and you haven't given it a chance yet, why do you hate saving money? This is the basic question for you. If you go to rulerfoods.com, you'll be able to find a Ruler Foods that's closest to you. You might not even know that you're very close to one, but they're located in Missouri and Illinois. They've got locations all over the place. You can also go online to rulerfoods.com and schedule a delivery so you get those savings shipped directly to your door. For all of your shopping needs, your grocery shopping needs, give yourself the opportunity to save money by shopping at Ruler Foods. Go online to rulerfoods.com.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Visit one of our 2 locations, Creve Coeur and Shiloh, Illinois, and at goodfeet.com.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, VH1, TLC, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. And with up to 3 streams at once, you'll never have to fight about what to watch. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows, and save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR, so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere, for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC+. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's philo.tv.
Well, there's a very good chance as you've driven down your street, you have admired houses in your neighborhood that have been covered in Rhino Shield, and you don't even know it. Except if you pay close attention, you'll notice that they're not being repainted every couple of years. What I mean is, same bright, vivid colors that you would choose with regular paint, except that Rhino Shield lasts, and you're going to get a 25-year warranty with it. I've got it on my house, and I mean it. It looks like it did the day they put it on. It lasts and lasts. It's lab tested to last that long against chipping or peeling or cracking, and they put this on businesses as well. Condo units from Springfield, Illinois, all the way down to the Lake of the Ozarks. You can find it. And my friend Darren will be happy to come over and give you a free evaluation of your home. All you have to do is call him, tell him you heard Mark Cox talking about it, 877-25-RHINO, or online at 877-25rhino.com.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated. Is yours? Did you know that there's an R value associated with insulation? To find out your R value or for a free insulation estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Wednesday afternoon, Mark Reardon recaps Donald Trump's victorious election night. Mike Kehoe is in studio as well. It all starts at 3.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Joe.
I don't know nothing.
Well, and that's what makes the timing, I think, of President Biden's decision to step down after the debate something that, if she does in fact lose, will be under a microscope because, of course, there was so much discussion, even over the summer, about potentially having an open primary and having that fight play out within the Democratic Party. So I think it's one of the big questions moving forward.
Joe Concha, Fox News contributor.
Joe Concha back on the Annie Fry Show in a happy, happy day. It's like, Joe, you knew the whole time everything was going to be okay. Thanks for the time today. We appreciate the opportunity to speak with you.
Sure. No, I know our little messages going back and forth, Danny. Done a lot of interviews on here. And I'm not doing an end zone dance. I don't want to date myself, but there's a running back named Barry Sanders who played for the Detroit Lions. He never did one end zone dance. He handed the ball to the ref. But in this case, I'm making an exception. All right? Boy, did I nail this.
You did.
Anybody who doubted me.
Nobody doubted you.
And Stelzer with your +3 Harris poll. He wins by 14. Hey, you're only up by 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Unbelievable. People took that thing seriously.
Is that a political plant then? Is that all there is to it? They were just trying to affect some outcome?
There has to be. I mean, she's gotten past elections right before, so when you saw it at first, you're like, oh boy, maybe she's on to something that no one else on the planet is, right? But then it turns out that she's running over to MSNBC, and I saw that suspect. She's on there laughing about it. Hee, hee, hee. Mm. You're like, what is going on? But that Kristen Welker clip you just played from Meet the Press,
yeah,
boy, was that telling. I mean, this whole thing, if Kamala did this or if the DNC did that, it wouldn't have mattered. I don't care what Democrat was running in this race. The conditions on the ground never changed. We still had high inflation. Every exit poll says the cost for everything is way too much. I'm sick of it. No one likes illegal immigration. That's certainly for sure. And that also came out in the in those exit polls as well. And then you had, threats to democracy coming in some exit polls. But you see a Washington Post poll showing that people trusted Trump on protecting democracy more than they did Biden and Harris.
Yes.
Because they see what the Justice Department's doing as far as lawfare, weaponizing, right? So a lot of people have different interpretations on protecting democracy. So Trump was winning this no matter what. I don't care. Kamala Harris, yes, profoundly horrible candidate, the worst of our lifetimes. But I don't think it would have mattered either way because people want the Trump years back.
Yeah, but I mean, how long have you covered politics, Joe? I mean, you've been doing this professionally for a while. Have you ever seen anything like the arc of the Donald Trump story in politics before?
No, never. This is the greatest comeback in American history since probably the Revolutionary War. I'm not exaggerating on that. As far as you think about everything this person has been through, right? He comes into office and he's accused of being a Russian agent, a stooge for the Kremlin. He's impeached twice, hostile media coverage all of these years. Then what happened on January 6th, he gets all the blame for. On January 7th, you would think he's toxic, and there's no way he can even get close to the nomination, let alone the presidency. And then he goes through all this stuff with all these court cases, 2 assassination attempts, mind you, everything thrown at him. And he's like that scene in Rocky where, Rocky's talking to his son about, his son kind of is lacking self-confidence and, he wants to give up on his job. And Rocky's like, life ain't all sunshine and rainbows. You're going to keep getting hit. And the question is not if you get hit, but if you keep moving forward. And that's Trump. He's like Rocky meets the Terminator. He keeps moving forward. And the bottom line is that, look, he gained with black voters.
Yeah.
He gained with Hispanic voters. And he owned the unions, which Democrats have to have. And ultimately, that led me to my 312 electoral college prediction that she doesn't have that. She's going to lose every swing state.
We're speaking with Joe Concha, the man, the myth, the legend right now. You literally wrote the book on Joe Biden, and then he dropped out. And you've got your latest book out, Why Today's Democrats Ain't Your Daddy's Donkeys. You're going to have to write another book right now because you have written the book on how the Democrat Party has to remake itself multiple times over. And what they're left with holding right now at the end of this 2024 election cycle, they've got a lot of questions and I think no willingness to answer them, at least at this point. What happens next for the Democrats?
Oh, Annie, they are so effed. I mean, I don't know how else to put it because now Donald Trump's going to have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And you say, well, he had that in 2017 also. And, John McCain's voting against things. And he now knows how Washington works. He knows who to surround himself with as far as people that are going to carry out his agenda. And he knows who exactly the players to work with in Congress. Mike Johnson is not Paul Ryan. We'll put it that way. And they're going to pass a whole bunch of very interesting stuff. Like the next election, probably only paper ballots. We're not going to have weeks and weeks of early voting and all this mail-in stuff that only leads to suspect stuff. So the Democrats are going to lose a lot of advantages that they had in voting. And look, if he fixes the wall and finishes that, and with the proper Congress, he will, and immigration is fixed, and the economy does as well as when he was in office, J.D. Vance will waltz into the Oval Office as the president, and then you'll have 8 years of Vance. Because what did we see with Vance? Boy, did he outperform expectations. And I don't know who the Democrats now take off their bench to say, oh, we got it. Josh Shapiro? Well, 15% of your party probably won't vote for him because he's Jewish. Andy Beshear, Kentucky, I guess. I don't know, kind of soft-spoken, kind of a wimpy guy, for lack of a better word. I don't know who they run in 2028. I know we're talking about this one day after the election, but I don't see where the options are good for this party at all, and they have to remake themselves with all the woke stuff and men competing against women in sports and just everything. They were exposed here, and it's a very good day if you are a fan of sanity and of objectivity.
It is a very good day. Joe Concha speaking with us right now. We've got quite a different, the way Washington, D.C. on day one of a new Congress and of the inauguration on January 20th of Donald Trump. I mean, when you think about the likes of Mitch McConnell, he's not going to be running the show anymore, at least not in the official position. The Mitt Romneys are gone. The Mansions are gone. Nancy Pelosi is even more relegated into just being the hen that runs the hen house that nobody wants to support, it seems. Donald Trump is going to be able to do something, as you mentioned, with way more understanding of the operation of the system, but with very different people and different players in powerful positions in Congress. What do you make of what happens next with this much, much more red Senate and what seems to likely end up being still a Republican majority in the House?
Yeah, and a diverse cabinet, right? I mean,
yes.
We're going to have RFK Jr. running something health related, and it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
Right. Tulsi Gabbard's probably going to have a big role in this. She got more delegates than Kamala Harris did in 2020 when they both ran on the Democratic side. Little trivia question. Just wanted to throw that out there. Elon Musk with the Government Accountability Board. I mean, they're going to cut waste left and right. Boy, yeah, they're going to know what they're doing. And in the end, they're just going to do a lot of things that people agree with. Drill, baby, drill. Bring back domestic energy. Obviously, I talked about the border, remain in Mexico policy, deport people that should not be here, especially criminals. And a lot of people, especially blacks and Hispanics, are going to like what they see because their lives are going to improve and they're going to feel it. And that's why Democrats, I don't care who they put up, if the conditions on the ground are that good, if all these things go in this direction and we end these wars that we're in, by the way, it's going to be hard to see how J.D. Vance gets beat.
Oh, man. Joe Concha, one last question before we let you go. We're excited for our ability to have a conversation with you on this really exciting day. I want to know what your message is to Republicans going forward, because you've secured the victory, but now in politics, the victory, the election, it's won. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. How do you continue to succeed past Election Day? What do you want to see from the Republican Party next?
Don't think of being conservative. Just think of being common sense. Do things that normal people will agree with and say, yep, that works for me. And I think that's the way to go. Don't overreach. I don't want to see anything in terms of revenge. I'd love to see Donald Trump, quite frankly, not only invite Kamala Harris and Joe Biden to the inauguration, right? Kindness kills.
Yeah.
But also pardon Hunter Biden. Be like, look, I'm going to bring the country together. All right, Joe, let's do this for the good of the country. What's Biden going to say? I mean, that would drive him insane that Donald Trump is saving his son. So that would be great on top of it. Oh, by the way, they're such class, aren't they? Yeah. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Have they said a word yet?
No.
I know she's going to speak, but where's the president? You can't say anything? I mean, they look so bad in this right now, just like Hillary did, and then that's going to not play well going forward as well.
Oh, man. Joe Concha, thank you for the time today. Thank you for your prescient wisdom that you've been able to share with us. We're very gracious for it, and lots of more fun conversations in our future.
You got it, Annie. Take care.
Take care. You as well. Happy day, as we have said multiple times on the show. Joe Concha, of the best. His ex posts, his ex feeds are great. And on this show, we are going to work very, very hard to not say Twitter anymore, because Twitter is gone and dead. Elon Musk bought it and transformed it into a freedom-fighting machine, and he deserves the respect of that. It's been very hard for me to do that. Everybody says Twitter. I'm still going to say Twitter, but not intentionally. But doesn't Elon Musk deserve for that platform to be X?
I believe so. He owns it.
Yes.
He has transformed it. It is not the same thing anymore.
Correct.
He has made it his own. It's a new product. It's X.
I didn't want to call it X. I'm like, it's Twitter. Everybody knows it is Twitter. But at this point today, I'm officially saying, no, I'm gonna do this out of respect and reverence for Elon Musk. He's the one who I'm most interested to watch and see if this continues down the road, if the plans that are being made and laid out in a campaign, the promises that are being made, if they can actually materialize and if the relationship can sustain what will need to be done going forward. Oh man, what a day. What a wonderful day. The YouTube live chat poll for today. So what happened in the election results? Yes, we know Donald Trump is going to be the president on January 20th once again. He is President-elect Donald J. Trump. We know that Kamala Harris did lose. She's providing us what we assume will be the concession speech at 3 o'clock. But what really happened in this election? Let's assess the campaigns. Did Donald Trump run a winning campaign? Did Kamala Harris run a losing campaign to get us to these results? Or do we have a little bit of a combination of the two? Let's get Ryan Wiggins back in studio. Ryan, Brad, and myself will discuss that thought along with your comments on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. We've got a lot of people weighing in here. Ender said both is what happened. As we saw, Trump won. At the same time, Democrats and Kamala lost 15 million votes over the last 4 years. Trump lost 3 million, which is still substantial. But where did those 15 million go? Let us know what you think on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
What you know, Joe? I don't dig you. What you know, Joe? Hey, stop your squawking. Just ain't talking, 'cause I don't know.
Been hearing so long about government mandates all these years. It's coming true
unless something changes this year yet, then maybe it could be stopped. If not, homeowners, if you need an air conditioner, if your air conditioner is old now, get the equipment that you can still get before they say you can't have it. Not to scare you, they scared you. I'm just saying, the equipment we have right now, unbelievably better than what you have because your equipment's 15 or 20 or 30 or 40 years old. So if you're looking and if your system's that old or if people are saying it's old and you new, I'm not going to waste your time. But if you call me, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois, the easiest of numbers. All right. So it's not the easiest. I have forgotten the number, even as many times as I put it up. But 314-293-2600 or go to the internet, BartInman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
It's time to book your holiday parties today with Grill Master Tony. Mark Cox here. Grill Master Tony's schedule is starting to fill up. So make your holiday parties easier and tastier with Grill Master Tony for your holidays. It is the season. Choose from brisket or pulled pork or chicken and all the sides, the roasted potatoes, the bourbon baked beans, the French bread from Pete's Italian Bakery on the Hill. Also, don't forget your company parties and your holiday lunches. Visit grillmastertony.com.
It's that time again, where we choose who we think is the best candidate for office. It's a difficult decision that requires the evaluation of contenders. Do they have the appropriate skills and experience for this office? Are they the right type of leader? Do they have a clear vision? Selecting the right candidate is no easy feat. That's why, for your office, there's ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes choosing the right candidate for any office easy because they only find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. Best of all, they do it fast. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, while you're thinking about that really big decision, rest assured that any other hiring decision will be much easier when you use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
I can see clearly now thanks to the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and introducing Samuel Berry. You can too. Call 314-966-5000 or check out yourEyeDoc.com. That's yourEyeDoc.com.
So what happened in the election? What happened in the election results? Was it that Trump won? Was it that Kamala lost? Or was it a combination of both? We'll talk about this. We want to know what your opinion is, too, on the YouTube live chat poll. Let us know and leave a comment. 141, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Now it's time for the Aftermath Analysis. Keep it here post-election to get details and commentary on everything the mainstream media isn't reporting on. Democracy 2024. The vision and strategy for 2025 is here.
American girls and American guys.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
There's a lot of men dead, so we can sleep in peace at night when we lay down our head. My daddy served in the army, where he lost his right eye, but he flew a flag out in our yard till the day that he died. He wanted my mother, my brother, my sister, and me to grow up and live happy in the land of the free. Now this nation that I love is falling under attack. A mighty sucker punch came flying in from somewhere in the back. Soon as we could see clearly through our big black eye, man, we lit up your world like the 4th of July. Hey, Uncle Sam, put
You know, I think Toby Keith, I don't have some major affinity for Toby Keith. This song I do, though. But Toby Keith would have liked to have seen this day.
Yeah, absolutely.
This type of patriotism that he's singing about in here, which came out right after 9/11. This was a cha-cha dance at Wild Country in the days when I was going to Wild Country all the time. And there is just a version of patriotism that I'm glad that I know. It's in the wake of 9/11, of course. What what you felt if you experienced September 11th, knowing what it was like to love your country the way you loved your country after we were attacked, I'm glad that I know that feeling. And we're not there right now. I think a lot of us are feeling very much so like very patriotic today, but we're happy because we liked the results. There are people who are feeling very, very not happy today. And I watched the video. A lot of people are going to watch the video. This might be one of their highest rated shows they've ever done. And they know that going into it. And I said this a little bit earlier when we were discussing maybe in the first hour or something. I don't remember when, but the View ladies, I heard some of them, and some of them were like, you know what? I think we need to kind of listen to what the American people are saying. And then Sunny Hostin went in, and she was outrageous in her comments. We'll get to some of that in the 2 o'clock hour. But some people out there today have been so deceived as to what reality is, as to who you are if you cast a vote for Donald Trump. There are a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump who don't really love Donald Trump, but they are sick and tired of the direction this country has gone in. And Toby Keith, whenever I hear that song, it's like, I'm glad to know that we have that capsule of what that moment in time was. Like, that song is a historical artifact for me to hear that song, because it takes me right back to a place where we were oozing patriotism for love of country. And to know that that is something that can exist and never want to have to experience that feeling again due to the catalyst for it. But I do understand that. And I think that, it's got to be very similar to what people felt like in the 40s and the 50s. Having come off of something like that, we had such a rapid pace of just such bipartisan patriotism that so quickly turned so political. And it just went completely the other way. Like, think about how much you're supposed to, like, in the recent 10 to 15 years, how much disgust you're supposed to have for America.
Oh, yeah. You can't really love the country and just say, I just love this country, or say something good without maybe, putting something ahead of time. Well, I know we're blank. Fill in the blank. Hey, I know that there's this problem, but it's like even if you're going to be patriotic, you're expected to say, yes, I know there's problems. I remember in the 90s, it had kind of become cool to not hate America, but just kind of dog on America. Like, we weren't doing things right. Oh, it's America. It's capitalism and all this stuff. And I remember in the late 90s having an American flag shirt that I had gotten at I think
Navy?
It was 4th of July or something.
Did you get the Old Navy 4th of July shirt?
I don't remember where I got it.
They still have those.
But it was just a big flag. It was actually kind of like the shirt that Brad's wearing, except that's the 13 original colonies. This was just a regular flag. And I was in high school, and I wore it kind of ironically to show that I wasn't really participating in the dogging on America, but it was still kind of a joke. Like, there was something to it that was like, hi, I'm kind of doing this to show you that I'm not doing that. And then all of a sudden 9/11 happened. I still had that shirt. And I put it on one day, and I'm like, this isn't ironic. This is just me wearing an American. I'm not saying anything that's not very well supported in this moment.
Yeah. That song will always have that imprint on me. I think a lot of people have those songs. Joe comments on the YouTube, I feel the same way about Whoop, there it is.
Mm-hmm. I understand that.
I don't know the historical context of that, but I am not here to disrespect it. The YouTube live chat poll. So what happened in the election results? If you go to the Annie Fry YouTube page, come say hi. I got a whole crew of people over there right now. Quite a few people watching on the YouTube channel. Thank you for being there. You can also, for anybody who's watching there and maybe found our show over the last 24 hours due to the election, I want to remind you of the Odyssey app, AUDACY. I think that today would be a good day to tell people about leaving their quick thoughts on the election, looking forward, what next, how do you feel, by going to the Odyssey app. If you haven't downloaded it yet, you can take 97.1, which is the station that we're on here in St. Louis, of course, and the whole station. You can listen to it right there on the Odyssey app. But, Ryan, tell people how they can go onto the app right now and find 97.1 and leave us a message, and Ethan can curate those for maybe the 2 o'clock hour.
Yeah, you download the Odyssey app, and then you just type in 97.1, and our station will come up, because obviously Odyssey's got a lot of stations. But if you find ours, you would just click on the play button there and listen to the station live. And then while you're doing so, you can click on that microphone and leave a message. You can kind of cultivate that message. You can record it over and over if you're like, well, I'm not making my point well enough.
When you
or whatever.
click record, it doesn't automatically go to us.
It doesn't send.
If you didn't do it right.
Yeah. And if you record it and you're like, what am I doing? Like, you can delete it. You don't have to send it.
Or if you do what I do, if I am ever leaving a voicemail, I accidentally say out loud the punctuation because I can't any longer talk into my phone and not think that it's just going to write text.
Yeah, I think it's a great day for America! !
I mean, I literally have left voice messages like that.
Yeah, so you can do that, and you can leave in the punctuation if you want.
Yeah, somebody's going to do that now.
Somebody, hey,
if you do
invitation's open.
You're probably getting on the air. And we'll play your clips.
Yeah, so that's how it works. It's very easy.
What do you think? So what happened in the election results, Ryan? Do you think that Donald Trump won this election? Do you think Kamala Harris's campaign lost this election? Or do you think it's absolutely a combination of the two?
Well, I think it is a combination of the two, but I would lean toward Kamala Lost simply because, and not just she's a terrible candidate and all that stuff. That's well documented. They've just done a terrible job of running the country. And it made the dichotomy between the two presidencies so obvious that all they had to do was kind of coast. They didn't have to go as hard into the leftist, like crazy open border, spend on Green New Deal, all this stuff that's not even close to bipartisan. In fact, it's probably like unpartisan in that even their own party doesn't like a lot of it, their own voters, because that's what showed up. You saw so many, every demographic group you can think of, every way they break out voters, they all moved toward Trump. And some of that isn't because they liked Trump. Some people did, but more people were just saying, I don't like this. So I'm going to say it's both, but it's more that Kamala lost.
The most recent election news, Fox News reports that a senior aide for Kamala Harris tells Fox News that the vice president has called President-elect Trump today to congratulate him on winning the 2024 race. During the call, Harris discussed the importance of peaceful transfer of power and serving as a president who represents all Americans. According to the aide, Harris is expected to make public comments later this afternoon during a speech at Howard University in Washington, D.C. That should be at 3 p.m. Let's find out what the Mark Reardon Show is doing with that. I assume that we'll be airing at least a portion of that. Also, we know that Joe Biden, Fox News reports President Biden spoke by phone with Vice President Harris. He congratulated the vice president on her historic campaign. But President Biden also spoke by phone with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. President Biden expressed his commitment to ensuring a smooth transition and emphasized the importance of working to bring the country together. He also invited President-elect Trump to meet with him in the White House. The staff will coordinate a specific date in the near future. Tomorrow, President Biden will address the nation to discuss the election results and the transition. All good things.
Yeah, this is the way you hoped it would go yesterday morning.
And also, I would say, too, that the comparison of this moment, this election, and these results to what happened in 2020, I'm not really here to excuse that. We've talked about this so many times. We were disallowed to ask questions about 2020. And I have a lot of questions that were never flushed out with answers, so the answers don't exist. So when you look at the comparison to the two, I really think it's apples to oranges in results. I mean, the fact that there are 15 million votes that just don't have, where are they? There are 15 million less votes this election. There's more questions that I have, answers that I won't get. But going forward, hats off to what we've seen so far about, okay, I understand the political benefit of pushing we'll show you how to do a peaceful transfer of power. And I'm like, okay,
yeah,
send it over.
Thank you.
I want to report right now that the Montana race has officially been called. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So
Tester falls to Sheehy.
Sheehy, Tester, the Democrat incumbent, has lost his seat in Montana to Sheehy. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure I get these all right.
I think it's Tim Sheehy.
Yes, but with the Wisconsin race, Tammy Baldwin holds on the Wisconsin race.
Yep.
Sam Brown in Nevada is still holding on to a very slight lead, so maybe we'll get a call on that. But another Senate seat flip for Republicans. Brad, what do you think about the YouTube poll? So what happened in the election results? Did Trump win? Did Kamala lose it? Or is it a combination of the both?
So I said it was a combination of both. I think Team Trump did almost everything right. I'm trying to think of any rakes that they might have stepped on as a campaign, and I don't really know that there are any big things. Like, I remember in times past, he would say something and you'd be like, oh, why did you say that? There weren't any of those big moments. There was a lot of spin up from the media, like the MSG rally where the comedian said something. That was probably one of the bigger mistakes that his team made, but they focused their resources where they needed to focus their resources. They were smart enough to identify that podcasting is the wave of the future, and they went full force into that. And then on the flip side of it, there was pretty much not a rake that the Kamala Harris campaign didn't step on. There were comments from Biden.
It's like a Far Side comment, cartoon.
It's just whatever mistake that could be made, whatever wrong decision could be made, it seemed like they made it. Walz as your VP pick instead of Shapiro. That is like the most glaringly obvious one that sticks out to me. I will give them credit, though. The Democrats did an excellent job with the Democrat convention. I think that was the high point of their campaign. It's kind of designed to be that way. But
Have we determined that Kamala Harris didn't ask Shapiro and that Shapiro said no?
That the rumor is that he said no, but nobody said.
No, but that's my point.
Yeah, nobody said.
Like, we don't know. People are like, how could you not pick Shapiro? What a bonehead move. Did they ask Shapiro and he's like, no freaking way. I am not going down with this ship.
No.
Because if Shapiro has presidential aspirations of his own, and then he's got to go along with something that it was a Hail Mary pass to begin with, did Shapiro say no? Because you can't take Shapiro saying no to Kamala Harris and tell your Democratic electorate that Shapiro says no to this ticket. You can't do that. Because if the governor says, I'm not running on that ticket, that is the opposite of an endorsement for the top of the ticket. You can't do that. So, I mean, I kind of wonder, Tim Walz, that whole thing makes zero flipping sense. Is he the only one who's like, yeah, sure, let's go. I think it'll be a great idea.
I'm up
from
for whatever.
Midwest.
I'm a knucklehead.
That is the scenario that actually makes sense, is that Tim Walz was the best they could do. It's like the Pawn Stars.
Well, there's two versions of that.
I'll take a Josh Shapiro and a Pennsylvania. Tim Walz in Minnesota.
We have no idea what actually happened, but the first is, he just didn't want the job because he thought, nah, stinking ship, I'm not going to be on it. The other is that people criticize her because they say, no, she didn't pick Josh Shapiro because he's Jewish, and she was trying to cultivate the Arab vote.
Yeah, but that dog don't hunt, because winning Pennsylvania is a bigger prize than potentially losing what you would lose in Michigan or Minnesota.
And you lost Michigan anyway.
So, I mean, you don't pick a goober to
Notorial. Notorial.
Yeah, goober. You don't pick a gubernatorial candidate. Exactly. Well, that's too good to follow up. All right, if you got clips you want to leave us, tell us what you think about this poll. So what happened in the election results? Do you think Donald Trump just outright won this thing? Do you think Kamala Harris fumbled the bag completely, or a little bit of both? Go on the Odyssey app, click that little microphone next to the 97.1 FM Talk play button, and tell us what you think. We'll be right back.
Wow, this year has flown by, and now you're planning to sell your home. You know, like you, most families have been waiting on the sidelines. Well, now the timing is better, but you still have questions, right? Hey, Mark Cox here from my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I've been telling you about Gloria Liu for years now. Why? Because Gloria Liu is St. Louis real estate expert, and if you have a home to sell, you need to get to know her like I have. I've seen her systems, her guarantees. I've even met her clients. In fact, I'm also a client. She's different than any other realtor, and if you need help selling your home for the most money, you need to do what I did. Call Gloria Liu. Here's another tip. If you have a home to sell in Crestwood, Shaw, Maplewood, the Central West End, you must give Gloria Liu a call. Take it from me and call my friend Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-580-7766. 800-580-7766. That's 800-580-7766.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
President will speak in an hour. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News, at Howard University in Washington after conceding the election in a phone call.
A senior aide says Vice President Harris called President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory. Fox News is told the vice president discussed the importance of a peaceful transfer of power and being a president for all Americans.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz in Washington. President Biden has also called President-elect Trump to congratulate him on the election win and to invite him to the White House for a transition meeting. The victory has gotten bigger. Michigan, the third of the so-called blue wall states, has been called for President-elect Trump. He has claimed 5 of the 7 battleground states. Arizona and Nevada still too close to call. The GOP will retake control of the U.S. Senate in the next Congress.
The filibuster will stand. There won't be any new states admitted that give a partisan advantage to the other side. And we'll quit beating up the Supreme Court every time we don't like a decision they make.
It's outgoing Republican Senate leader Mitch McConnell who called the election a referendum on the current administration. Another close Senate race has been called. Wisconsin Democrat Tammy Baldwin reelected, beating GOP challenger Eric Hovde. Which party will control the House, still to be determined. The federal election interference case against the president-elect will end before his inauguration.
Given the fact DOJ policy says you cannot prosecute a sitting president, Fox News is told that Jack Smith will be gone from his post as special counsel, meaning the cases will be gone before Trump takes the oath of office.
Fox's David Spunt in Washington. Wall Street soaring the day after the election. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 1,451 points. NASDAQ 526 points higher. The S&P 500 up 140. America is listening to Fox News.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter.
You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more
more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
A pretty Wednesday afternoon around town. Everything drying out. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 63 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy. 50s for evening plans. 46 for the low. Dry times Thursday. Mostly sunny. 60. Dry times Friday. Partly sunny. 62. Wet times late Friday night. Saturday and Saturday night. All gone for Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Hey, St. Louis, are you in search of top-notch cybersecurity solutions? Look no further. ThrottleNet is here to help. Ransomware attacks are on the rise, putting businesses like yours at risk. Don't let cyber criminals jeopardize your hard-earned success. ThrottleNet provides comprehensive cybersecurity services tailored specifically to your unique needs. Our award-winning customer service provides 24/7 protection to keep your data safe and secure. Take charge of your digital security today. Protect your business, protect your future. ThrottleNet.com, your reliable partner in cybersecurity.
Greg Hammonds at greghammonds.com wants to remind you that if you pay for your own health insurance, open enrollment ends January 15th. If you are looking for coverage, do not go online looking for quotes. You'll get endless calls from call centers, and they will not stop. Instead, call Greg, an expert with over 40 years' experience, and he can provide sound advice for your health insurance needs. Their plans, if you qualify, let you pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. The monthly premiums are independent of your income, so there will be no surprise tax bills. If you pay for your own health insurance, own a small business, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. They will custom design a plan managed by you, not the government.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
45.
We had a great first term, a great first term.
47.
God spared my life for a reason.
Donald Trump elected President of the United States again. It actually happened.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Donald Trump's going to be the president again.
What?
And scene.
What?
I'm so excited.
I'm having that feeling of, after you almost get into a car accident, your body tenses up, adrenaline rushes through your body, and then you drive for maybe another mile, and then all of a sudden your body starts to ache because everything starts to relax a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm about there.
Yeah, I had a friend who got in an accident once who had gripped the steering wheel so hard that he couldn't open his hands for about 3 or 4 days.
Wow. Is he
because
okay?
he was just so tensed up
Man.
from where he grabbed it. But yeah, it feels like that a little bit because you're going, this actually happened last night. I think it's kind of weird because we were on the air for so long or on stream for so long that then you wake back up this morning and you're just right back at it. I think there's going to be a time coming soon, and maybe this is everybody, maybe it's not just us, that you're going to go, oh, they're going to change things. You know, Donald Trump's going to be the president, and I think we said this either on or off air last hour. He's going to actually fix the border problem. That's going to be a thing now.
He's just going to undo what Biden undid on day one.
Yeah.
Put it back.
Maybe we get the funding back. You know, we've reported on this. Joe Biden had the funding already allocated and the materials to build miles of the wall. And he told them to stop. And the money, he still had to pay them to do nothing. That's how much they broke the border. They had the funds and everything ready to go, and they still had to pay the contractors to do nothing because they didn't want the wall.
Do you feel what is your thought right now on those people in your life, your real life? You know, we're in an office right now. And if you walk out there and you go to the cafeteria, if you just go to the bathroom or go to get a drink or something like that, you're passing people that you're generally going to pass at least somebody who's having a really rough day. And I love those people. They're my coworkers. I don't want anything bad to happen with them. We're working towards a common goal here. What's your feeling about those people today?
It's a good question because we know that there are people who are going to have meltdowns. If you get online right now, you're going to find videos of people just losing it from last night and today.
Time out. Those people who video themselves having a meltdown are very different than your brother or sister or aunt or uncle or kid or whatever, or your coworker, right?
That's actually my point. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that that's what comes to mind for a lot of people, and that's not really the majority of people. So I don't really, but I think the conversation I would like to have with somebody who I know is just a dyed-in-the-wool Democrat, definitely voted for Harris, is not, are you doing okay? But are there people who voted for Harris who see that Trump won? He's got this, they're calling it a mandate. Okay, that's fine, a landslide, whatever. Are they going, no, this is going to really be as bad as I'm told? They're not freaking out, but they're just really bracing for all the things that they said Donald Trump's going to do, and they're really that worried? Or are they like, you know what, it's not my choice, but we'll get through this? I just don't know. I don't know where the left's mind is at on that.
They're showing the setup for the Kamala Harris concession speech that's going to be taking place outside of Howard University. Brad, you talked to Fred. How's 97.1 going to cover that?
They are definitely going to take the very beginning of it, and they're going to stick with it, but it really just depends on how long it goes. And if it gets kind of, rambling, they'll probably cut away. But they're going to take it from the top.
Will she laugh?
No.
I don't know. I just, I think you keep saying this, Ryan, like these moments are going to hit you intermittently when you don't really expect it. I have in the last probably 6 months had people kind of out themselves as conservatives when I don't expect them to be conservatives. You walk, it's like if you're walking, I had to run into Walgreens before I came to work, and I can't remember what the thing is called, but like when you're seeing things that are, you're kind of applying your personal circumstances to what you're seeing and making some assumptions or whatever. But there are people who are walking around with the goofiest smiles on their faces today, and there are people who are walking around with the antithesis of it. It's very fair, in my opinion, to say that if you've been a Trump supporter for the last 8 years, that you've been demonized in pretty much every way you could possibly be demonized.
By mainstream culture, you are scum.
Garbage.
You're garbage. Yes.
Nazi.
racist, you
Sexist.
hate the country, and you want to destroy it.
It's hard to absorb all of those blows. Realize that the majority of people, the literal majority, not just the Electoral College, but the majority have said, in the midst of every single thing that you have thrown at this man, we choose Donald Trump. We choose him. It's very difficult to live under the labels, the hush-hush that you've had for so long. The people who, since 2015 and 2016, have seen who Donald Trump really is, big, scary, orange man, bad, and then over the course of almost a decade, come to the conclusion that, no, the left, they don't get it. The Democrats do not get it. You're independent. You're like Joe Biden is, with all due respect, senile. Then they swap him out for Kamala Harris. Nobody gets to have a say in it, which, going back to our conversation about did Josh Shapiro tell Kamala Harris no? The other wrinkle to that, in my opinion, is that he wanted to be the guy. And if they would have had any sort of election of any kind, that he would have been the guy. And when that didn't happen, he's like, this is your funeral, not mine. But while you listen to people demean you, I mean, all you have to do is, going back to The View again today, go look at the way some of these people are talking about those who voted for Donald Trump. Ladies, you are in the minority here. There are more people who, in the midst of every single opportunity that you've had to label, to divide, to demean, still see through all of your baloney sausage and have said, I choose Donald Trump. It's very difficult and very natural in a human nature kind of way to today to be like, and to want to rub people's face in it, to want to gloat about it. I cannot think of anything that is less productive in this moment. And when you see the folks on the left and the Fox News reports of Kamala Harris calling Donald Trump to be like, we'll show you a peaceful transition of power, and Joe Biden calling Donald Trump and saying he looks forward to a peaceful transition of power, there's a political play being involved in there, but also it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing for them to say, we're going to do this way. I also am waiting for January 6th to get here to be like, I hope you carry this all the way through. I hope we get to January 20th when Donald Trump is sworn into office and nobody else makes an attempt on his life. We've casually just thrown in a few assassination attempts into a campaign season, and it's not even the headline story. There is really no moral high ground to find here. If there's any place that we're all standing together, it is not together on the moral high ground. But we all have the opportunity to try to choose that today. I'm a big scoreboard person. When it comes to competing and winning, I like to look at the scoreboard, hope to see my score at least a little higher than the opponent's, and then that I work very hard to make that be enough. I live by the phrase, be humble or be humbled. Nobody likes to be humbled. Most people don't like to be humble. But there is an opportunity right now, while the whole country is watching the truth of Donald Trump being the president, and half of the country is just slowly turning their head to the Trump supporters, going, are you serious? Is this really what's happening? They're slowly turning their attention to you, that you have the opportunity to be humble and confident, which can go hand in hand, to the people who matter. To those in your life who really, truly matter. Don't get it upside down. We can very easily get it backwards, and you can fortify in the minds of those people who think that they know Donald Trump because of what's been sold to them about how evil of a man he is. You can get it in your mind that now it's your turn to serve it right back, but that ball's going to come bouncing back every single time. And you're going to fortify in their brain the lies that they have been told about the kind of person that Donald Trump is. He is no perfect man. Neither am I. Neither are they. We are not perfect people. But please prioritize the people in your life over politics. The scoreboard says what the scoreboard says. That's done. That's now history. I recoil when I see the human-to-human gloat. Social media is a little different because it's so impersonal and it's kind of like the Thunderdome. That's why you're there. But right now is not the time to go to your family member that you've disagreed with that has maybe been really terrible to you and just serve it right back to them. You don't have to like oversaturate the antithesis of that. But isn't today an opportunity to just be like the good side won and just be?
If you want culture change, we talked about this with abortion, but it's not just that. You really, and you call it moving the Overton window, Brad,
Yeah.
where you're not just moving things politics, because politics swings back and forth. The way I describe it is you want to move that pendulum. You want to move where the pendulum is swinging, because it's going to go right, it's going to go left, you want it's going to go right. You want the whole thing, the whole pendulum, to be moving right or really toward the things that are of eternal value. And so I think that's what you're saying, is that we need to do the things, especially those of us who believe in the eternal things, make that an effort in light of an election where everybody is very, very divided. And also be excited that your guy won and great things are going to happen. That's also acceptable.
There are people out there right now that are genuinely scared because they have been worked up by the media for the past 6 months, maybe even longer, that Donald Trump is the worst thing. There are people sitting out there that truly believe that democracy is lost, that the country is lost, that things will never be good again. They may never get to vote again. I mean, Oprah said that the night before the election. What you have the opportunity to do now is extend an olive branch to those people, and it's going to be a process. Like, hey, and not just today, but from here until January and beyond, where you can reach out to these people, be nice to these people, encourage them. It is not the end of the world.
You don't even have to talk about politics.
Right.
But you don't have to bring it up.
Yeah, you got some good holidays coming up.
Yeah,
it's an opportunity for that.
Don't be the uncle. But reach out to them, encourage them, listen to what they have to say and their concerns and their fears. That will go a long way. And then just tell them that you're there for them. No matter what, you're there for them. I'm here to listen. I'm here for you.
Larry reached out to us on the Odyssey app and left a message, which you can do as well if you find 97.1 FM Talk. Let's listen to
Larry, did you have a plan for the show today or an idea to talk about if Kamala won? Did that even cross your mind, or did you guys even discuss it?
Larry, thank you for leaving that message. If you want to do that, you can go to the Odyssey app, find 97.1 FM Talk. There's a microphone right next to the play button, and you just record right into there, and we get it. No, but I didn't have a plan for if Trump won either.
No, there was. If you knew how fast each show came together, that probably
every show.
Yeah, because it's always late breaking news. This is like the latest breaking news possible, so there was really no way to prepare for it.
We really do just soak it in, and out comes whatever our actual thoughts are in the moment. For me, it was much more of an emotional preparation. Anytime I come into a show, especially if there's big news or like there's a point A and a point B, and if we're transitioning from point A to point B and I don't know exactly where B is going to land, the number one thing that I try to do coming into a show is to get my head right and to understand completely whatever the emotion is that I'm feeling. Not to control my emotions so that I don't feel them, but to understand my emotions. Because if I understand my emotions, then I can address those emotions a little bit better. And yesterday, we opened the show, and I was very, very anxious. And I talked to you about that. And I appreciate all of the feedback we got back from those who were feeling the exact same way. And the reason why I decided yesterday to open the show with the God's honest truth of how I was feeling is because of how many people in my personal life and also socially through different messages that I get on the different platforms, people were incredibly anxious. And the fact that I was feeling that way, I could come on here and just, we talked about yesterday, we could give you all the splits and all the polls and tell you why what we want to have happen is probably going to happen, or try to scare the poo out of you and do the reverse or whatever it might be. I could serve all of that to you, but I don't find that to be useful for you or for me. Yesterday, I go back and watch the last segment of not Gutfeld show, of the 5 yesterday. They had like a 7-minute segment to wrap up before they tossed it over to election coverage. And Greg Gutfeld says something like, they started the segment like, well, we got 7 minutes. Does anybody have anything to say of any substance? and they were all like, no, we have nothing but 7 minutes to fill. And you just... When we go in, like, we understand that you are real people listening to us, and we are real people who are talking to you. We have lives that exist outside of, we're not like Fox News bots that just sit up here and say what people program into our minds. We say what we feel, and we say what we think, and all of our feelings and our thoughts flow right out of the foundational things that we are, which is, maybe it's Christian, or maybe it's as a parent or as a spouse or as, a minister. Brad is a minister. I mean, these are things that we are for real. And so if Kamala would have lost today, it would have been very difficult for me to define the specific emotion I was feeling, but also to identify that you as a listener are very likely feeling similar emotions that I am. And I always find pretending that those emotions aren't there does not help me live life with them. And so that's how we approached the show yesterday. Today I'm very excited. I'm very tired. My throat hurts really bad and my body aches.
I'm excited too, but I think the number one thing that I feel, and maybe this is others, which is why I'm just saying at the end of the segment here, is validated. You just feel like all the things that we've been saying and feeling and talking about for 4 years, you go, oh, okay, good. The majority of the country also saw that.
There
and
are
acted
not
on
many
it.
more feelings as good as being validated.
Mm-hmm.
Just from an individual, personal experience. When the time comes and you've been validated, that is a pretty incredible feeling.
Especially in light of the culture and the media and the messengers that are out there trying to constantly tell you that you're wrong and you're crazy and you're stupid.
Howard University is getting ready for Kamala Harris's concession speech. Mark Reardon's going to take that from the top of his show and carry you through it as long as it is a newsworthy element to add to the 97.1 FM Talk broadcast. I'll be looking forward to listening to that here on 97.1. If you want to leave us a message, go to the Odyssey app. Find 97.1 FM Talk and click that button. Leave a recording. Tell us what happened in the election results. Did Trump win that thing? Did Kamala lose that thing? Or a little bit of both? Leave us a message. We'll be right back.
This is The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Weather can be unpredictable nowadays, but your local news station on the free Odyssey app has got you covered. Whether you need an umbrella, windbreaker, or an extra layer, or two, we'll let you know. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station to listen on your smartphone or ask your smart speaker to play it before you head out the door. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station. That's AUDACY.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. You entrusted a nursing home with the care of a loved one, but they violated that trust. If your family member has been the victim of nursing home neglect, call Onder Law at 844-BED-SORE.
Having trouble finding that luxury timepiece you've been dreaming about? You might be surprised to find it at Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct now invites you to our exclusive luxury watch collection, now stocked with some hard-to-find brand new and certified pre-owned Swiss timepieces. At Diamonds Direct, our buyers have been scouring the country finding the watches you can't get anywhere else, including a fabulous collection of new and pre-owned models in immaculate condition from Rolex, Audemars Piguet, Patek Philippe, Richard Mille, and more. We've got Rolex Submariners, Datejust, Pepsis, Batmans, and other hard sought-after models. So if you're tired of waiting for years to get that luxury watch you've been wanting, stop waiting. Walk out with it today at Diamonds Direct. And if you have a fine Swiss watch you want to sell, our buyers are always willing to pay top dollar. Maybe it's time for a trade-in or trade-up. Come and see the all-new luxury watch collection at Diamonds Direct. Get showroom directions, hours, and learn more at DiamondsDirect.com. Proud to call the Lou home. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-296-3315. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now. 800-296-3315.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-296-3315. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-296-3315 or oxcarcare.com.
Not many window companies do egress windows. Those are the ones used in basements or floors with no emergency exit. GHRcontracting.com. We offer same-day install and financing 0% for 18 months, and there's no hassle with price negotiation. Get an upfront quote on the phone. GHRcontracting.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 55 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk is online, and you can stream it on your phone anytime. Just download the Odyssey app, and 97.1 is one button away. 97.1 FM Talk on the Odyssey app.
Let's go, girls. Come on. I'm going out tonight.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. It's so good to be with you today. Right after the election coverage comes in and we have a positive result last night, it was kind of interesting to see as we were waiting. Georgia got called, then Pennsylvania got called.
North Carolina first.
North
and
Carolina,
then
Georgia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yep. Once those got called, then we had to sit around and wait for a while for Donald Trump to speak. Do you think he was waiting for Kamala Harris to call?
No, I think he was waiting for Fox or somebody to put him over 270 because it was sitting right there just waiting for
Wisconsin.
it. And Wisconsin is the one they called that did it. And we were all going, wait, Alaska could do it.
Yeah, and Alaska's still not called.
But we're still kind of waiting. I think a couple have said, yeah, but.
Is there a reason why Alaska still hasn't been called?
They're just slow. They're always slow.
We've got another voice message left to us on the Odyssey app. If you want to do that, you can hustle up before we run out of time here. On the Odyssey app, AUDACY, download it, find 97.1 FM Talk, and next to the play button, where you can listen to us do this thing here right now live, you can click that microphone and record your thoughts on today's YouTube live chat poll. So what happened in the election results? Did Donald Trump win it? Did Kamala Harris lose it? Or is it a combination of the two? Bob left a message for us. Let's hear what listener Bob had to say.
Unfortunately,
Kamala is going to be the 47th president because miraculously something's going to happen to Joe Biden between now and January 20th. That way the Democrats will get the first female president.
Darn it if that's not a good theory.
Yeah, it's a great theory.
It's a smart one. I don't know.
I feel like I've heard that.
I know. It's somebody else has said that before. I don't know who. And they don't deserve credit.
Hey! You go look at our Christmas tree that's sitting in our studio or in our office right now, which I want to put in here, but I don't know if the marks will allow me to decorate for Christmas yet. So there's two ways I can go about it. I can just do it.
Yes.
And deal with the ramifications of people going, well, what about Thanksgiving? I mean, I'm talking to you, Ethan.
Listen, if there is a time to put a Christmas tree in here, it's today or tomorrow because those guys are riding high.
Yeah, it's true.
Put up a Thanksgiving tree.
Okay, I'll put a turkey on it.
Yeah, put a turkey on it and some ornaments.
We, last year, put prediction ornaments on the tree. We wrote our predictions on it. One of my predictions was that Joe Biden would not be the nominee, which I have been saying for a super, super long time.
Huh?
Another one was that Kamala Harris would become the president. And I was assuming that that would happen not via the election, but via a Joe Biden stepping down. And I was saying that that whole scenario would make a lot of sense because the 45, 47, the hat merchandise and all of that stuff would all be rendered kaput in the event that Kamala Harris got to be the president for like 8 weeks. I think it's possible. I still think it's possible. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that it would be something like Joe Biden saying, oh, I've got a health problem. It's almost as if he would have to do it almost ceremoniously and say, I'm going to do this because I think it's the best thing to do, and that's what I decided to do.
Michigan Senate race just called.
For the Democrats.
Slotkin, the incumbent. So that seat stays as it was. Not a flip, but a very close difference of just over 18,000 votes. So the breakdown for the Senate right now is 52 Republicans, 44 Democrats. So we have a few that are left remaining, and Sam Brown in Nevada has been looking good. Right now, the New York Times has Sam Brown up by 0.5%. He's up by about 6,000 votes with 85% of the votes in. You were talking a little bit about the count there on that Senate race. Is that still holding true?
Well, that's why he's up now, because he was only up by about 800 votes. And they said, oh, there's this county, Nye County, that is very Republican. He should win by 2-1 margin. Well, he has. They've counted those, or they're still counting them, and he's up by 6,000 votes now. So that gives him a pad. There's not a whole lot more votes out there, but it's those straggler votes that make you so suspicious.
Nervous.
Yes.
But the straggler votes in the Nevada case are breaking Republican. We were talking about this a little bit off the air, that if the Republican was winning, and they're like, oh wait, there's a county that got miscounted, and they're going to count it. It's supposed to go 2-1 to the Democrat. We would all be up in arms with the suspicions, which is, should they be up in arms? I don't know. I don't know the specific details of that specific county, but we're all just suspicious.
They take votes in Nevada for 3 days after the election. So most states don't do that. They do. And then I also saw a post of somebody saying, yeah, and you can also cure your ballot up until November 12th. Like, man.
Can I move to Nevada and vote for Sam Brown get that ballot in there?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania race, Senate race is still not called. Of course, Donald Trump winning Pennsylvania. We don't know the winner of the Nevada electoral votes for the president yet. Won't be consequential in who wins, of course, the presidency, but it would be nice to put in the red column. Pennsylvania Senate race right now, more than 95% of the votes in, according to the New York Times, and they have Dave McCormick at 48.9% to Bob Casey, the incumbent's 48.5%. So McCormick, the Republican who would upset the Democratic incumbent, the Republican is up 0.4% in Pennsylvania, and that might be something that gets called today at some point.
That's the hope. There are rumblings, but you can't really call anything just from that. So it looks good, though. Again, these are pickups. This isn't just, Republican hanging on to a Republican seat, like Ted Cruz winning Texas. That's good. You got to hang on to him. But the Republicans right now, without any of those that we just talked about, have picked up 3 seats.
Carrie Lake in Arizona, the Republican trying to flip a seat. Ruben Gallego isn't the incumbent there, but there's 61% of the vote in, so there's still quite a lot of vote still out there. And she's down by about 50,000 votes, 60,000 votes, if my math serves me right, just under 2% that she is down there. So I don't know. Is Carrie Lake going to be in the Senate?
Stupid Arizona, man. All the rest of the states. Even, I think, Alaska, who I was just dogging on, has more of their vote counted percent-wise than Arizona does.
You got to drive so far to get them all together.
It's
so much land mass.
Every state right now, the usually in the 90s, there's still 1 or 2 that are in the 80s. Arizona, 61 or 6, depending on who you're looking at, 63%. Come on, get your act together. Everybody's been complaining about them too. You'd think that they would say, all right, let's get this together and do it well this year.
Somebody's listening to the show for the first time today and like, she thinks that they have to drive across the entire state to collect. Yeah, isn't that how it works?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alaska's big, guys.
It's huge. You can see Russia.
It's just like you got to start in the upper right corner, go to the left corner, down to the bottom, and just sort of swirl into the middle.
And it's got those legs.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. The Aleutian Islands.
I watched you come to that conclusion on your face. You're like, you looked up and there it was. Yeah. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to the final results of today's YouTube live chat poll. Have you voted yet? Well, hurry up. Get over to the Annie Fry YouTube channel. We've got 526 votes so far collected from you. What happened in this election? Did Donald Trump win this one? Did Kamala Harris lose this one? How do you feel about the effort of each of their campaigns, or combination of both? Annie Fry YouTube channel. Go leave a vote. You can go to the Odyssey app and leave a comment for us if you so choose on your reaction to the results. We'll be back in just a minute.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Experience the beauty of custom-crafted windows that enhance your home's aesthetics and energy efficiency. Look no further than Infinity from Marvin, proudly brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design. Why choose Infinity? These windows are not just strong, they're 8 times stronger than vinyl, providing unmatched security for your home. Plus, with Lakeside's expert installation, you're guaranteed precision and perfection. Visit our showroom or call Lakeside Renovation and Design today. Elevate your home with Infinity from Marvin, where strength meets style.
The Roots and Boots Tour 90s Electric Throwdown with Sammy Kershaw,
That's my story.
Colin Ray,
That's my
and
story.
Aaron Tippett.
She ain't a Cadillac.
This Saturday night at 7 at the Family Arena.
There ain't nothing wrong with
Reserve
her.
seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture Box Office, located at the Family Arena or at Ticketmaster. Roots and Boots Tour 90s Electric Throwdown.
Step into a world of enchantment this holiday season with Cirque Musica Holiday Wonderland. From awe-inspiring acrobatics to gravity-defying aerial feats, it's the perfect fusion of circus artistry and beloved holiday songs in a celebration guaranteed to create memories for the entire family. December 5th, 7 p.m., the Family Arena. On sale at the Carroll House Furniture Box Office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Inspire your holiday spirit with Cirque Musica Holiday Wonderland.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, write this number down or put it into your phone. 800-211-4413. The IRS is hiring more staff and cracking down. Call Tax Relief Helpers now to learn about our tax debt reduction programs and how to stop the collection efforts. If you're facing liens, levies, an audit, wage garnishment, or years of unpaid taxes, even if you're already in a payment plan, we can help. Through special IRS programs, you may qualify to have your tax debt settled for a fraction of what you owe. Tax Relief Helpers has helped thousands of taxpayers qualify for these generous relief programs, earning an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. No matter what amount you or your business owe to the IRS, call our tax relief hotline now for a free consultation and see what savings you may qualify for. Don't tackle the IRS on your own, and don't risk having your wages, Social Security, even your pension seized. Call now. Call 800-211-4413. That's 800-211-4413. 800-211-4413.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
If you're looking for all the comforts of home plus some in a senior living community, check out Hampton Manor of Wentzville, just off the Lake St. Louis exit at Highway 70. They'll even treat you to lunch. Set up your appointment today and tell them Mark Cox sent you. WentzvilleAssistedLiving.com.
So what happened in the election results? Did Trump win or did Kamala lose? Kamala. Come on, man. Did Trump win or did Kamala lose? Or was it both? There's people standing very close to me if you can't hear that. YouTube live chat poll. You find it by typing in Annie Fry on the YouTube. 244. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon running on very little sleep after last night, but fueled by about 8 Diet Cokes. We're ready to go here post-election. We got Mike Kehoe coming up, the new governor of Missouri, and a whole lot more. It's all coming up after Fox News at 3.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Walks merrily down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of his feet. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Yeah.
Welcome back. Things are deteriorating
I'm just
here.
trying to read the time check.
No. Why am I still here? Why am I still talking? I'm calculating the amount of hours I've spoken in the last 24 hours, and it's too many.
Did you freaking lose count?
Yes. I think I have more than 24 hours in the last 24 hours of speaking.
Yeah,
That's what
her
it feels
stenographer is like, what happened? This has been crazy.
Just put the apostrophe in there and leave me alone. We had a great time last night on the watch party. Ethan, thank you so much for all the help you did to help make it so that we could tag team with the Mark Reardon election results that were taking place here in the studio. That was really cool to be able to do that. And we found out that there was they deem themselves this. I did not give them this name, but they call themselves the Fannies, and that is not something that I that I ascribe to them. But I love that they own it.
I do.
We have we got this group of people they have come together through our show, and they have come together. They've gotten to know each other through the YouTube live chat. And it's just really cool that they got together to take these results in, and I'm glad that they were able to do that and celebrate versus the Misery Loves Company angle of it. So thank you to all of you guys for sending us your toast. Very exciting. And
is that orange juice that's in those glasses?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Those are mimosas because they were probably up all night. That was from this morning.
That was the morning.
Everybody who's listening, I'm guessing if you're plugged into politics enough that you're listening today, you probably stayed up too late last night.
Oh my gosh,
right?
yes.
Not just us.
Well, and people are making the comments here. If you want to get together in the next Fanny get together, I suppose you got to go on the YouTube channel and speak up. And I mean, they just came together. I think they've met at several of our events and ended up sitting together. But
yeah,
all great people.
The best way to get in cool with the Fanny Club, is to say things like "I'm cool" and "I'm normal." And then they'll be like, oh, okay. Well, a person sounds like they'd be cool to hang out with and pretty normal.
This genuinely sounds like a Wiggins America segment.
It can be. Go on.
That's how I get invited to parties. I just am like, hey, what's up, you guys? I do not need friends, but I could use some.
When was the last time you were invited to a party?
Probably college. You know what? Does it count when your kid gets invited to a party, but you take them?
No.
Okay, then it's college.
You know, the Sonny Hostin thing, I wanted to play that. I wanted to get to that. But I don't really want to sully the moment.
Yeah, don't sully it or mic it.
Wazowski? I'm literally going to watch The Lion King tonight. Yeah, I know. We don't. What? The difficult.
8 minutes left.
The difficult. Yeah,
I got Ethan.
We
It
should
was such a stupid joke.
totally be having more commercials here.
It's so stupid.
I broke you. I don't know how that happened.
It was a long night.
Yeah, it was for everybody.
I'm going to watch The Lion King tonight with my kids. I've always felt like if Donald Trump resurges and comes back and reclaims Pride Rock.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm serious.
You've really thought this through.
You're darn right I have. You're darn right I have. The little hyenas, the screeching hyenas. One of them's Whoopi Goldberg in the movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Literally.
Checks out.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Is one Joy Behar?
I
No,
don't
that
know.
totally makes sense
Sonny
when you think
Hostin.
about it.
There are so many parallels in The Lion King. And I mean, I could also do Little Mermaid, but I'll spare you on this. I just have always thought that Poor Unfortunate Souls is Nancy Pelosi's anthem.
Oh, my goodness.
I've said it on the show before.
Very deep.
But like when you think about being relegated, like you're framed for something, you're made to feel bad for something. They kick you out of the kingdom. They ruin it because the people at the top are super greedy, and then everything goes to crap because of it. But then he comes back, and then it rains, and then everything is great again. Make Pride Rock great again. Duh.
Oh, I'm still thinking about the Sully joke.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mike Wazowski. Plus, I can watch The Lion King with my kids and do something specifically with my kids and still have like an adult like thought process going through my head about why it's all same, but I'm not going to share that part with my kids. We're just going to watch Simba.
Do Aladdin. Compare or Beauty and the Beast. Either one. Compare it to Trump.
I could probably do them all, but
Whole New World.
I haven't really thought of that one that much.
Ooh, a whole
Yes.
new world. I like that.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
6 minutes left.
Yeah.
Still.
Can we talk about the things that Disney hides in their movies?
No. Only in the VHS.
Yeah. On the box.
Let me
Go ahead.
ask you this. Are you guys excited about, I know you guys have talked about just for how long now everything has been building up to yesterday and today, and now you're here. How does that feel to know that you're past the, we have to get to Election Day, we have to get him back in office. Now, obviously, we have a couple more months here until he's back in office, but how good does it feel for you guys to be, I mean, every single day for a couple of years now, this is what life has been, and now it's like, okay, we finally
4
made
years.
it. Yeah.
I kind of likened it earlier in the show to when you almost get into a car accident. I mean, also maybe when you do get into a car accident, I've been in that before, where the adrenaline rush that goes through your body. When if you didn't get in the car accident, you're driving down the road, all of a sudden it starts to ache, and because you're just kind of coming down from the tense nature of it. Being on this side of it and getting the results that I certainly wanted to have happen. It is a physical feeling for me.
Yeah.
Like I feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
And when you're living life and you're trying to deal with all this and there's this huge consequential thing and it's always like down the road, it just kind of comes the fabric of, that's like just conversation you have at birthday parties with your like-minded family or discussions you have with your spouse, or there's an entertainment level that you end up consuming about something like this. It's a competition. It's exciting in that regard. And so you just kind of live in this place for so long, and when you get upright to it and something is going to be determined, there's a very high pressure moment there. And when you think when you don't have the results, but you start thinking about how happy you might be if it goes your way, then if you're me, you start also thinking about how awful it's going to be if it doesn't go your way.
Right.
And that's just a lot. And I'm so thankful. I'm so very thankful that God blessed us with a determinating factor of conclusion for this election, that there isn't all of the question marks. You said this last night, Ethan, I think in our group chat, like we're going home with an answer. Like who would have thought that we would have the conclusion to this so very quickly? And I'm so glad that we have, because this is going, when we talk about peaceful transfers of power and everything, yes, they are important every single time. But it is a lot easier to do when it's this definitive.
Right.
When the Electoral College, of course, matches the popular vote, which the popular vote determines nothing. But there's very little to disagree about other than what could have been done or should have been done and wasn't.
It's such a big win and overwhelming with the popular vote, and I mean carrying other senators across and everything, that you walk away from this, and I walk away feeling like, oh man, he's finally overcome all this stuff. And in a sense he has. But my brain keeps going, are you not aware what these people have tried to do to him? Do you think they're just going to stop now? I really am bracing, because I can't imagine what else they have to throw at this guy, which makes me scared that there's something like a who knows on the horizon that they're going to grab and go, this is the thing now. Because they're not going to let him just be the president and govern peacefully for 4 years. They're going to try to kneecap him again and again and again, because we know that they have. They never stopped. They won't stop now.
Yeah, I wonder how effective it can be. Because
I do too.
I think I look at this election and I look at what the American people said, and we mentioned this when we were talking about the media. The media has been, the mainstream media, the big media companies have kind of been regulated to the sidelines. You don't have the influence anymore. And people are going to look at everything that you say about this man with a side eye. They're going to be like, I don't know if I believe that or not. And they'll be more skeptical about it. And then on the other side, you've got Twitter, which has done an amazing job with community notes. X, sorry. Dang.
It's going to take a minute.
Has done a great job with community notes, which has been one of the best fact-checking mechanisms that I have seen.
Real quick before we go to a break, are we 57-50?
57, yeah.
Just around the horn here, there's so many different paths, and this is to what Ryan's been saying. Like, you go, oh my gosh, this is going to happen, and oh my gosh, that's going to happen. What is the single most thing that comes to your mind first, at least, that you're excited about what happens next?
It probably is border, because that's such an immediate, quick fix. It's not overnight, but you can do so much so quickly to stem that tide. Part of it's just messaging. Trump's coming back into office. That might fix some of it right there, because people will be less prone to push the system.
Ethan?
I think I would say the preparation that is now going to be able to go into his cabinet and the people surrounding him that are, I feel like there was just some surprise, I think, on his side that he won in 16, so he wasn't prepared in some of those ways. It feels like this one's going in and things are going to be done the right way in every single aspect.
Brad?
I think I'm looking for the economic relief. I don't know how quickly it's going to come, but Stephen Moore has been like, it'll come quickly.
Yeah.
And I think about the housing market, interest rates, fuel prices, energy prices, groceries, any sort of relief, even if it's just a slight bit at first, any sort of relief is going to be amazing. And I think that's what I'm looking forward to.
My thing I'm looking forward to the most is watching what's left of the complete and total swamp-driven, agenda-driven media move off into an irrelevant place. And media is a tough industry. But if you're not serving the purpose of the people honestly, then you should be out of a job. You can have an opinion, and it can be very, very different than mine. But be honest and forthright with the American people. I want truth again. Ethan, you want to give us the poll results?
Yeah, YouTube live chat poll today, 564 votes. What happened? I got to say, I clicked Trump won immediately because I was like, duh. Trump won. Yeah. And I was like, oh, wait. And I thought about it. So 53% do end up saying Trump won. Just 2% say Kamala lost.
Right.
45% saying both.
I said both.
You said
I
Kamala
leaned
lost.
Kamala lost.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. Kamala Harris going to deliver her concession speech. The Mark Reardon Show will walk you through it. Don't go away. Keep it here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Life is challenging and ever-changing. Take control with passive income through real estate investing. Learn how. Learn now. Let Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited's investors and mentors show you. Meet Del's team live in St. Louis. 2 days only at the Hilton Frontenac, Saturday and Sunday, November 9th and 10th. Register now at DelHelpMeNow.com. That's DelHelpMeNow.com. Enter promo code 2024 for a special discount offer. DelHelpMeNow.com. Code 2024.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25 plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
Surprise! Surprise! You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement